Finding those levels, too. Look at that four-punch combination.
It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. And Shakur meeting them with straight left hand.
Oh, and there's a knockdown scored with the left hand.
Right now, we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother, Just Due.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Just Do shine, busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Just Do boxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, with Just Do. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
Let me give you a real moment, something most people never heard. When Devin was 9 years old, just a kid with a dream, I had to face a truth that every parent with a high-performance child eventually faces. There are millions of kids in the world with the same dream. Millions of kids who want the same opportunity. Millions of kids who want to be great, who want to be fighters, who want to be champions. So what made my son different? What made our plan real? What made our vision stronger than the odds stacked against us? It sure wasn't luck, and it definitely wasn't avoiding fear. As a father, as a coach, I had something to protect, something to build, something to believe in. And most dads, if not all, would be proud to have a challenge like that, to have something worth fighting for, with your child and for your child. So I couldn't be consumed with fear, not with the plan we had, not with the vision we carried, not with the hours we were willing to put in. Our plan was to become world champions. That was the mission, that was the direction, that was the destiny we were committed to. And preparation, that neutralized the fear. That's what quieted the noise. That's what kept us locked in when everything around us said the odds were too big. Because when you prepare with purpose, fear doesn't get a vote.
What's good, family? On how y'all feeling on this Good Friday, man? We back to build on this boxing and give it its just due. How only we know how to do, man. Hit the like button, double tap the screen, sub to the channel, share the live, hype the lives. Y'all already know, support the grind. We gonna get to it. We got some things we gonna get to. Gonna talk about it, man. Since this past Saturday, like I said, there's been a lot of different opinions on what fight should be next, and who's fighting who, and we always want to know who's next. But one thing I love about big fights are impactful fights that matter, right? Fights that move the needle, like Tio and Shakur. It's always, I said it before, it's gonna be big opportunities for the winner and or the loser, because some people could start looking at Tio like food. Maybe everybody want to take a crack at him, right? Shakur, on the other hand, he's still looking, hard as ever to beat. That's going, some people competitive, they want to test their skills. And one of the guys is Raymond Muratalla. And, there's been a fight that was being, discussed, when he was still, obviously at 35. This was, while he still was on Top Rank, should I say. So it was a good fight then. It's a good fight now. It's possibly even better fight now because he got more experience, right? He had his opportunity to be a world champion, right? He defended his belt against Andy Cruz and a really good performance. So he coming off the biggest win of his career, right? Shakur coming off the biggest win of his career. I think it's a great fight. Now, I ain't no matchmaker, and I ain't saying this is happening next, but I like the conversations that's coming after this big fight. Guys are wanting to try their hand. I for one, I believe Muratalla when he say he'd fight Shakur. You know what I'm saying? He had a nice little warning. I'm gonna play the little interview that he did, short interview with Fight Hype. Ron Goodall. It was a good interview, but he let it be known, man, he ain't Tio. And I personally, I like to talk. He's not Tio. None of these guys are Tio. Tio is Tio, and the rest of these guys are who they are, man. The beautiful thing about boxing is a lot of times people be prisoners of the moment. So when you see somebody coming off a big win, you automatically start throwing their names in there with other names, right? Other good fights. And I hate personally that they stripped him simply because if he'd have went back down to 35, that could have been a unification that people been dying to see, right? We've been looking for unifications at 135, and we ain't been getting them. So far, everybody's a champion, but no unifications. And I think that one could have been a great unification. But the beautiful thing about boxing is guys move up all the time. So Muratalla, I did read a while back, that Robert Garcia was saying, this could have been his last fight at 35. And I could still see it being the case if he don't have something bigger or meaningful on the table, right? Something that makes sense. I could see him very well going up to 140. And look, while Shakur's there with that belt, it'll still be a good fight up there. But before we keep going, man, let me say what's up to the fam. Had to set the table. We got a lot. We're going to get to all of it. Canelo talking about a rematch. I got the video for that. Paulie Malignaggi gave a breakdown, man. He was on Boxing Scene going off a bit too. So we're going to get into some things, man. We're going to get into a Rome. What it do, man? That's Muratalla. He's not going to be any better than Tio. Yeah, man. It's a good fight, though. Right now, people feel like he's somebody that could challenge him, possibly beat him, whatever. I'll watch it. You know what I mean? Cat Sports, the box story. My dog, I'm telling you, it'll be a rough fight for him. Celestial Being, man. What's good? Cal Cooley. And real quick, do anybody hear an echo? Do anybody hear an echo with my microphone? Cal Cooley, blessings to my brother. What's good? Ace, all love, family. How you been, my guy? Shadow Band, what's good? Ghetto Fab in the building. My dog, Blunt Sports in the building. Mine, George, what's good with it? Nah, you get me? You hear me wrong? Mine, George, who say these cats ain't effing with Corey. Man, they not. John Wick, what it do? Hating and making excuses, man. They've been doing it ever since. Shout out to Thrill Hill, Behind the Hands TV. Another day around some legendary game in the gym. That's dope, man. Know you got some stories, man. We damn sure gonna chop it up. Emmanuel, my dog, in the building. Do anybody hear an echo? And you came in kind of hot, Celestial Being. You came in kind of hot. Fix your microphone. You kind of pissing me off a little bit because I knew coming in here typing in all caps. No, you fix your phone. 88 was good with it. Nah, no echo. Nah, that ain't no not now. I ain't do nothing different. Nah, that was your phone. Southpaw Manny was good with it. Core's gonna cook him. They're gonna make an excuse. Facts. No echo, no echo. Right. Yeah, fix your phone. Come in here doing that. It got an annoying echo. You being annoying. First, you came in here questioning. Where's the report? Do y'all do that shit in any other channel? Have you ever seen me post something that's not legit? If you sit back and let me get to the show, all questions will be answered, man. Canelo did an interview with Mr. Versace, about 20 minutes long. He talked about a rematch. We're going to get into that when we get to it. But first things first, I'm going to entertain this good matchup. Not saying I could play matchmaker, but I'm a fan of guys fighting guys that want to fight them. And Shakur Stevenson has been a fighter that has been looking for the names. He got one of those names this past Saturday. Beautiful work with Tio, but you can't stay stuck on that. Got to be on to the next. So, you know, you heard him and you seen, should I say, the exchange between him and Lamont Roach via Twitter. The mutual respect, them feeling like they can fight each other. That's a fight that's potentially out there for him. You know what I'm saying? Again, Raymond Muratalla is a guy that's talking about moving up. So 140, if Shakur stays there, being that, you know, he no longer has the title at 35, that's a great fight at 40, 35, wherever they can make it. It's a really good fight. You already know, man. People, bro, like, damn, I'm the chillest content creator you could come across, man. Yeah, all you got to do is come holler at me, man. It's going to be all good. We're going to have a good show. We're going to build. No slander, no BS, just a nice build, man. We game all night. What's good with it? Yeah, man, ain't even say what's up. Like, god damn, bro. Nah, nice try, Joel, man. That's you. People like you is you might be joking, but I don't know. But Snack Pack ain't got nothing to do with why that man winning. It's him being one of the best fighters in the world. You know what I mean? One of the most disciplined guys in the world is why he winning. Crawford, same difference, man. They cut from the same cloth. You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is. They nice like that, B. They nice like that. You dig? Generational talent like that. But yeah, like I said, man, Muratalla, look, impressive win over Andy Cruz. They had him as the underdog, you know what I mean? Disrespectfully such. You know, Raymond said, hold on, what? That got me as what? All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? He was locked in. It's funny, right? Because he had the similar energy that Core had. He was locked in, stone-faced. He barely wanted to answer questions. He was very serious. He wasn't joking around. Then you pan the camera to Andy Cruz, and it's no slight to him. He dancing around in the back like Tio, and then go out there and get beat. So look, Raymond Muratalla has proved his worth. He's a legit champion at 35. I think if you Shakur, you keep all options available, which I'm sure he will. I think he's going to try to get whatever is the best fight. But I think it's cool even if you don't got to fight or belt, should I say, at 35, because you could go down and go take his straight like that. You know, it's fights to be made. But again, I like Raymond because he's a polished fighter. He's disciplined, well-schooled guy under Robert Garcia. He's been around for a while. He's been one of Robert Garcia's top talents, man. And, you know, he's been tested a bit throughout his career. He's had, you know, he's been on the deck, got up and won, right? He's had a close call or two, but that's boxing for you, you know. I think all of those things build character. When you get tested in a fight and you come out on top, it builds character. When you face adversity in the fight and you get through it, it builds character. You gain valuable experience, priceless experience. That's what Raymond Muratalla is. That's why I think we seen a combination of those experiences and him being solid on the night, putting it all together in that performance against Andy Cruz. And he showed people, like, it's crazy because even some of the boxers was like, damn, I ain't know about Raymond Muratalla. He nice. And that's a good thing. So when you start to wake the world up, that's good. Now more people, you kind of, you know, resonate with the name Muratalla. Oh, that's the dude that gave Andy Cruz the first loss. You get what I'm saying? And, oh, yeah, okay, he got a belt. He got the IBF strap, right? Undefeated, got some good power, good boxing ability, man. It's a good fight for Core. That's all I'm saying, man. You need names, you need quality guys. And I respect the Raymond Muratalla. I think he's one of them. I'm telling you, bro. That's all I be saying, Cal, man. Just let's be, you know, let's be adults for once, bro. For once, man. Yeah, facts, JMO. Yeah, none of these dudes never had to use no steroids. It's nasty that people try to put them labels on these dudes, but that just goes to show how great they are. You know what I'm saying? Specs was good with it, fam. How you feeling? Nobody, you know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. Techniques that people People sleeping on Muratalla and they still sleeping. They defeated a high-level technician. Yeah, you know that's how it be, but people needed to do their homework because it's crazy. That fight showed how many people didn't really see Raymond Muratalla fight before. And I've been watching him for years. He been good. He been calling for top guys for a few years now. So he look like he in a position in the driver's seat where those fights can become a reality, because at bare minimum, he got a piece of hardware down there at 35 that people should be willing to challenge for and want, right? So again, man, I like what he was saying in the interview. He said he ain't no T.O. You get me? Like Courtney. So we're going to pull it up. Let's build on this Good Friday, man. I ain't going to try to be here too long, but we going to cook, man. Hit that like button. We got 40 people in the building on both sides. Let's go, man. Let's get to this. Let me pull this up, man. Like him, man. Though I like them sleepers, man. He just a disciplined guy. And he's not a small 35-pounder, so I think at worst case scenario, if Core were to stay put at 40, he could always come up as he stated. So, and like I told you, I did my reading, and Robert Garcia had mentioned even before this fight, you know what I'm saying, that it could be his last fight at 135. So we just have to wait and see if that is the case. I think Raymond Muratalla can compete wherever he go. I think he'll be fine if he stick around at 35. I think it'll be cool if he go to 40. God, like I said, guys are moving up all the time. It's just part of boxing, and it'd be no different in this case. But like I said, I think that fight is good at either weight. He hasn't said anything about struggling with making the weight. And on top of that, he got the IBF strap, so he got the 10-pound rehydration going on. So if that ain't been affecting him, I doubt if he has an issue. But it's crazy how, you know, the WBC decided to be like, they picked the absolute worst time to strip somebody. They didn't even allow for future fights to be made, no unifications and none of that. They just all about getting money, and that shit is crazy, man. They don't care about, and that's why I say they don't care about giving us fights as much as they do their bottom line and how they gonna make money. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Then the man just fought, paid sanctioning fees for a fight. Then you turn around and try to double dip is what it sounds like. So it is what it is, man. And there, what's good with it, fam? How you feeling? Shout out to B More Tay, my dog. He said Andy Cruz winning. Right, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It was a close competitive fight. But you know, I think Raymond Muratalla he was showing the more polish. Shout out to Sunchild. He was more polished. He was showing the more polish in the fight, right? More versatility. He had a better attack, right? He had a game plan and he was able to execute it. And the problem with Andy Cruz is he spent a lot of the fight fighting Raymond up off of him, right? He was like fighting him up off of him, and he couldn't really establish control of the fight. That's what I realized was missing the most from Andy's performance, right? He was unable at any real point to gain control. Yeah, he was competing, he was fighting back, made it very, very good, entertaining fight throughout the rounds, but I think he started falling down behind the 8-ball because he was just getting outworked, and Raymond Muratalla was doing consistent body work, mixing it up to the head, and like I said, he had Andy kind of like trying to fight him up off of him, and it seemed like a tough job for him. Seemed like it was kind of tough. Cruz looks small now. That's why you right, Specs. That's why they talking about possibly going back. Well, not going back, but going down to 130. You get what I'm saying? Hey, J-Mo, man, shout out to Mike Magic, my brother. How you feeling, Mike? Shout out to my dog. Y'all hit that like button. Let's roll, man. Look, for sure, Lanier, for sure. I'll drop it in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it's in the community section, but I'll drop it in here to let you know when y'all could come up and cook if you want to, for sure, man. But yeah, man, people dislike what they don't understand. A lot of people don't understand boxing as much as they would like to make you believe. So when they see it fight, and you can tell as such with a guy like Shakur Stevenson, and it's relevant to the conversation. Shout out to Jordan. What's good, homie? You hear them complain about all the things that he is not, instead of focusing on what he is and how he get it done. And that's where they're, you know what I mean? Their level of understanding is, okay, well, he don't get a whole bunch of knockouts and he ain't doing this. He don't throw a whole bunch of punches. He don't really go get you and all. You get what I'm saying? But then they'll leave out all of the things that he actually do at an extremely high level, which makes him who he is. So it's one of them situations where people tend to not understand a talent like his. Crazy as that may sound, they just don't. People don't know boxing as much as they'll make you believe they do, you know? And you can tell when it goes to breaking down a skill set such as his, or a guy with a style like his. You get what I'm saying? Like, on one end, a person to tell you how they love Sweet Pea, but then they'll be like, man, Shakur, this and that. And I ain't saying he's Sweet Pea, but you see the similarities, and you like, if you could rock with that, you definitely should be able to rock with this. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Like a Dog. My guy was good with it. Big Dog Willie. Muratalla will get pieced up by Corto. I'm telling you, it's a good fight, but I like the fact that he's rolling momentum. He's rolling off of the biggest win of his career, and it's at a time where people like, that's an interesting fight. And like I said, if you court, you need guys to call you out. You want that. You want your options to be as deep as possible, because you know how difficult it is to make fights, especially when you Shakur Stevenson. We just being honest, though. I just hope that's a fight that could come to fruition, man. You know, I don't see why it can't happen at either weight. It's a great fight for boxing. Good challenge, you know what I mean? Undefeated current world champion. You know, he'll go out there and try to make it a damn scrap, you know? Let's get to this, though, man. Shout out to Reef. What's good with it, my guy? You know what I'm saying? What's good with it? Ron Goodall always do good interviews, man. Solid guy over there with Fight Hype. Do his thing. All right, man. Let me get to this, bro. Ron Goodall, Fight Hype. Let's hear it from Raymond. Raymond Muratalla. Yeah, he can move up. Forever G's, what it do? He said it. Believe me.
I'm here joined with the IBF Lightweight Championship champion of the world, Raymond Muratalla, after having his sensational defense against Andy Cruz, man. I'm happy I got a chance to talk to you afterwards. And first and foremost, man, how happy were you able to deliver such an amazing performance that night?
It felt good. It definitely felt good. Yeah, man, just all the work I've been putting in. Yeah, I just felt good that day, and yeah, well, I wasn't losing that day either, and yeah, everything went good and everything went my way, and it felt good.
You know, when we were speaking, right, and it seemed like it stuck with me when a lot of people asked me about the fight, right? Because Andy Cruz, the gold medalist, the guy that beat Keyshawn multiple times, like it's something really hard for multiple boxing fans to ignore, right? It's almost.
He said it's about time to start spreading some people. I'm telling, start pissing them off. Teach, they don't like it. I heard about that a little while ago. I've just been sitting on it, like, just to see what comes out in the wash. You know what I mean? Shout out to Zeke. You know what I mean? You just never know. But we already know from the gate that it did good. And like Andre Ward said, man, they've been lying for years telling you dudes can't sell. And as soon as you get an opportunity to be on that so-called, he's not a pay-per-view star. Shit look like star potential to me. You get me? At McQueen was good, Professor.
Chilling, man. Chilling. Oh, you made me sad again with the mentioning of money-making Mauricio.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What a dumb move, too. Mm-hmm. With all of these potential unifications that are on the horizon at 135. And
right.
If all of the reports are true, which they appear to be, Shakur is definitely on. He's a star, man. Mm-hmm. So your 3% of what you would have got from his next fight would have been greater than whatever it was that you just tried to shake him down for.
Dumb, man.
That was
stupid. 100K, man. Was the 100K worth it that you didn't even get? Like, because right now you taking losses. You swinging and you missing. You about to strike out. You got about one more situation with me, Mauricio. Really, you struck out. You started with Ryan. The Ryan shit. Then you did the shit with Bud. This just to have to apologize. That's what I be wanting people to understand. Lord. He went through all of that. And if he wasn't in no wrong, I ain't apologize. Imagine saying sorry if you ain't did nothing wrong. Imagine that. Publicly at that. Come on, man. So that shit was a shakedown.
So what's gonna happen with the world championship? Is it gonna
probably vacant, and then they're gonna have somebody line somebody up and have them fight?
But what's the name just won the interim, didn't he?
Shot?
Nah, Herrera.
Oh shit.
Jody, yeah, what's the name at 135?
Damn, him too, because you know what, yeah, Shot did get it, drop it. So yeah, I think you might be right.
They made it available again, remember, because it was supposed to be Herrera, and I can't remember who his opponent was. But they had that fight lined up initially. My man Cool Boy, and this is the other situation. So this is 3 already with Mauricio in the past, month or so?
Yeah, he
Technically
wild.
4, because it was the Bud situation, the Herrera situation. Then Cool Boy misses weight. He's supposed to be ineligible for the 130-pound title, but then you turn around and make him eligible for a 135 interim. Like, what sense does that make? Now the situation with Shakur, they just all over the place with it.
Yeah, scrambling.
So they just making it up as they go along, bro.
Right. We make it up as we go along. And shout out to Behind the Hands. You speaking facts, bro. I couldn't agree more. It's not Zuffa. It's not Turkey. It's not Jake Paul. The WBC is destroying the 4-belt era. Facts.
Oh, no, he preaching.
Idiots. Stop trying to shake people down. The fighters are getting smarter. They're getting smarter, wiser. They're playing chess. You know what I mean? Dudes are starting to play chess, not checkers no more. You can't just you try to shake people down with no rhyme or reason. And that's the part that pisses me off for the people that be in defense of that shit, man. Like, why these dudes can't give no explanation as to why they always the only standout sanctioning body that's trying to shake people down for a little extra Nah, that shit sound crazy. 100K. And I you know, I don't say names, but I listened in briefly just to hear some hating ass dude. Cause I knew he was gonna be hating. And you in there like making it seem like, you know, that ain't none of y'all business what they do with the money. That's the fucking problem too. Cause why so much then? If I can't know where it's going, you shouldn't get it. What are we talking about? I just went out there 12 fucking rounds, 36 minutes, put my life on the line. You out here talking about 100K, please. And not even
a fight that you weren't involved in. You ain't even sanctioned about.
Right.
Like, get the hell out of here. And the man just fought in July. There wasn't a report of him skipping out on payments then. So he just paid you in July. What do you need to get money for now?
Facts.
Just sit back and wait, and then it would have been your turn to be involved in one of his bouts. Exactly. And it appears like the lights are getting brighter for Bright Light Stevenson. So you would have been making cash, man. So, but is it one of those cut the nose off to spite the face type situations? My man Teacher saying Zepeda versus Jadier Herrera, I'll take it, but I hope they do the right thing by him because he won the interim after having the opportunity taken away. Then they gave it right back.
Right.
After they realized Chop didn't want it.
And that's what Chris Mannix was on. You know, a lot of times people don't go to bat for court, but it ain't really going to bat for him. It's just going to bat for boxing. That's what I liked about his response. Like, yo, I couldn't have pretty much picked the worst time to try to do this. And y'all been out here handing out intern belts, so Canelo ain't had to fight. You get what I'm saying? He broke it. He hit the nail right on the head. I think I got a little short clip I'm going to end up playing it because it's just relevant. Like, it's crazy how they move. And we be sitting here arguing about the best fighting the best, and they make moves that ruin that go in the opposite direction of that. With that title, man, that means a unification potentially. Look at Raymond Muratalla looking good defending this belt. Like, you get me? There's a play there. There's a play before you do this clown shit. And it's going to end up blowing in your face. You better hope you get a solid champion to hold it down. Tell me to hold that belt down. Shit just going to be passed around after a while. I'm telling you, skipped over the IBF and stripped people. Shit crazy, man.
Yep. It just don't make any type of sense. And then no disrespect to Jadier, but he ain't the name that Shakur is. So his 3% don't even hit the same. So it just don't even make mathematical sense why you would even strip Shakur at this point. Like, if your intention is to make money, you would think that you would go with the dude who just sold 21,000 at the Garden, bro.
That's why I was like, what? Like,
it's just a dumb move.
Money hungry. Money hungry. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, y'all need job dollars now. Y'all like, hey, we ain't thinking about down the road. We talking about right now. Like, hey, bro had a trip. Bro had a luxurious trip plan with the wife.
Instant gratification.
That shit fell through. He was
Somebody
like, hey,
said he was remodeling this kitchen, putting marble floors down and all that. You need that little oomph.
Hey, babe, we gotta put a hold on the down payment on the new beachfront, man. You know, you get me? We gotta put a hold on it. You know what I mean? Now him and wifey arguing. He put that call in like strip him.
Poured in and pay his tithes and offerings. Postpone.
And then y'all doing it at a time where dudes, especially the last two guys, both Crawford and Cole, run around with 180K gold, real gold Ring magazine belt for the free 99. And you talk about 100K. for no rhyme or reason, no explanation. Just we need that. You had a fight. That's good enough. Like hell no, bogus ass sanctioning bodies tearing up the 4-belt.
That's
era.
another great point, and that also, I feel like it adds to my man behind the hands point. Like we talk about Turkey and these guys and their influence on boxing, but if they gonna give you a belt for free,
right,
that's worth 188,000 because that joint is solid gold. And you over here tripping over this funky ass little. I don't even know what type of material that is.
and what happens when the sentiments that the Gervonta Davises, the Shakur Stevensons of the world, you heard Terrence Crawford saying it, like if people stop really caring about belts and feel like they can make the money without them, bro, now you got a whole different situation to deal with, right? When the biggest and best talent stop giving a damn, you might have to rethink all of this bogus sanctioning fee garbage. I just think it's bold as hell to just charge somebody so much money just to be able to call yourself a champion. And people be justifying it. That shit is crazy. Fighting for this shit ain't enough. I gotta pay for it too. It almost makes it seem fake. Like, damn, I gotta pay to be a champion. And y'all think, you get me? I get it. It's shit that come with it, and you might be able to make more money because of it. I understand. That still don't mean tax people arm and a leg. That still don't mean, just don't have no clean explanation, clear-cut explanation as to why would you do something like that other than the fact that you're money hungry, bro. You ain't even think about the future of the sport and fights that you can make with said champion. You just like, nah, it's strip them. Get that up off them. Suckers. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, but they got buckle up. Right,
yeah, bro.
Right.
And also, to the point that the champions, like the actual fighters themselves, are what makes the belt. That's been the talking point for the WBC for the longest time. The prestige, it's the green belt. So-and-so had the belt. Hell, they even got pictures of the former champions on the belt.
Get me? Come on, man.
And they just devaluing it with each rash decision that they make.
With greed, bro, we need a whole separate conversation, man. We gonna have this conversation. And shout out to Teach. You had sent me something about Zufi you wanted me to touch on, man. We're gonna have to revisit that because I definitely want to talk about this for sure, man. I just think it's nasty, and not only do you rubbing fighters the wrong way because it seems like you're trying to extort them. I'm just calling it what it is. From my seat, that's what it looked like. You can't explain to me how I owe you money. I didn't defend this title. I didn't fight for this title. I moved up and did this. You had nothing to do with it. And it's just like, yeah, give me money. Like, nah, bro. That shit's suspect. Come on, the fighters got to be treated better. These dudes, blood, sweat, and tears, training for weeks on end. They get just to prepare for one fight. And they go out there and fight the fight. And then they got to be shaken down for bogus ass fees. They probably can't even, check can't even clear. And they already talking about they need they cut. Like, nah, bro. Need a clear understanding as to what be going on and why is it that y'all are able to just be the only ones out of the sanctioning bodies that can get money like that. That shit to me is a red flag. I really do, man.
And it's always them. Always them. You don't never hear anything about the WBO. I know the IBF, they had their little situation with the collecting fees from the fighters for the rankings and things of that sort. Basically, some payola, pay to play type of thing, paying for the rankings. But as far as them going overboard with the taxation, we ain't never heard nothing like that.
Right. Shout out to Drew. The fact. So it's just an interesting conversation and something to really think about. And like I said, especially having somebody that worked over there for them and broke down them numbers like that and was spot on. Like, bro, you do got some explaining to do. That's why you do end up apologizing. You dig deep enough, you're going to find some shit that you're going to uncover something that you don't want people to know. And I'm willing to bet money. I'm willing to bet money. Don't sit here and oversell me that it's all about the fighters. Yeah, right, man. It's a reason why you getting up there and made that shit public. And then you try to get swayed to public opinion for a second, and when that shit didn't work, you ended up having to double back with that apology. You silly man. Come on, man. Treat the fighters better. They deserve better. They risk everything for these belts. I get it, the sanctioning fee business, but just make it make sense, man. Y'all got it looking like extortion. Fact, Drake, it look like extortion right now, dude. Yeah, he's stupid. Let's get to it though. Let's hear what Raymond had to say. We're gonna play this, man. Let's get into it.
It's like they anointed him. Most times that's the case. But you specify there's a huge difference on like professional development outside of those accolades. So how much did you really feel when you actually got done through the fight that played a huge factor? Like, was it something where you were able to see he's freakishly athletic or talented, but there was these small adjustments, or was it big adjustments that you were able to capitalize in there?
Yeah, like you said, he's definitely a good boxer. He definitely knew his way around the ring. But yeah, man, I think just continuing to just put the pressure on was something he probably wasn't used to.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just the champion mindset that I had, and I just kept pushing it and pushing it, and you kind of seen like towards later rounds it wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I felt that it wasn't just this reckless pressure that like breaks people down. Sometimes people look at like Marco Maidana, right? They kind of refer to like that as pressure, but you at certain points it felt like mid-range you were the better boxer, right? Like at certain points you set up kind of the better traps or counter punching. Did you feel ultimately you had not just more experience but more skills than Andy Cruz in those moments?
Yeah, definitely. I think I definitely have a lot more skills that was gonna show towards an opponent like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the better opponents that I face, you kind of see the better version of me. So I think this fight showed that I'm also a good boxer. I also got the skills for it and the intelligence for it also. So I think this was just one of those fights to help show the world more what I have.
I know you've heard chatter, right? But after this fight, did you kind of heard a lot of like, man, I didn't know he was this good, or he was extremely underrated, or I think Devin Haney put out like almost like, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't know Raymond's game was like that. Like, like, did you feel like you woke up the boxing world at that point?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think more people just started to see like what my skills was really about, and it's funny because like we're in the gym every day, so or I kind of know what I am or what I have to offer, and it's different, but yeah, I think just yeah, the more you see me go against these type of opponents, the more you're gonna see out of me. So I think it's just a matter of time.
Why do you think that? Because I've been covering you for a long time, and you know, you've had fights where you actually had to box on your back foot. There was fights where you were a calculated counter puncher who just didn't, fight in these type of specific stereotype ways. Like, why do you think people couldn't see that in your fights when you were in your developmental stage? That now all of a sudden it took the Andy Cruz fight to see everything get put together.
Yeah, I think is
not to cut him off, but again, it be the dance partner. That's what it ultimately comes down to, too, man. These dudes think they can get up for any professional fight, but the more they understand the challenge that they're going up against, they're gonna prepare to get up for it. This dude had a stone face. You tell he was serious, whether he said it or not. He felt slighted by being an underdog. He damn sure approached it like it, and he made people, have to reevaluate who Raymond Muratalla is. You know what I'm saying? So y'all could block my organ, man. Pack him up.
the name.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the name. Just the amount of attention he had. The Olympic gold, just that background.
Two Olympic gold.
I think that's what it kind of was. Because like you said, you look back at my fights and I fought a lot of different styles, and yeah, I got a lot of different skills.
How much better do you think he's going to be now after facing you? I know that a lot of people take losses and think a fighter's over, but after facing you, how much do you think he's going to grow? And do you see him being able to take on these other guys in the division?
Yeah, I think after this fight, it should just make him a lot better, Definitely it could be a learning experience for him. And I think it's up to him So either make him a better fighter or worse. You know, it's going to be his decision and his mindset to make him better.
Before I switch topics, I know there's probably a lot of things that you surprised them with when by the end of the fight. Was there anything that you didn't, I guess, expect or see? I know I saw a post fight where you said you didn't feel his power and then, you know, he had some marks, but was there anything that you were impressed at the level that he was at that time, you know, when he faced you?
Honestly, I wouldn't say nothing like
nothing
crazy. I mean,
he was locked in.
We already knew he was a good boxer.
Hey, what's good, homie?
We knew he could move around well and find his way around the ring. So yeah, that's not really.
Yeah. As a fan,
it's funny. I don't even think he's slighting Andy Cruz. I just think he was tunnel vision, locked in, and one of them things where you ain't focused on what he was doing. You was focused on what you was doing and what you needed to do to him to beat him. That's what it seemed like, man. This dude said it. He said he was better than this dude. The comments that he made in regards as to why he would win the fight, it just wasn't something that he was selling. And I say this all the time. It's something about fighters when they get in these meetings and press conferences and they speak it from the heart. Like, you get me, and not just, all right, the cameras is rolling and, you know, it's a microphone here, let me sell it. Nah, man, he was letting it know, look, man, it's going to be a 12-round fight. And that's something that Robert was hinting on too. It's not it's not the Olympics. And that's something that it made sense, right? Andy Cruz is still trying to develop into that all-around pro, you know, that 12-round kind of guy, because you can tell by, you know, him not being the biggest puncher, he's going to have to outbox these dudes. So, you know what I mean? He was always in an uphill battle, being that he's not a proven 12-round fighter, right? He's still very early in the game, and baby in the game as far as pros go. He got 7 fights, you know what I'm saying? Then one of them was the title fight, so it's crazy. Like he got a ways to go, and I think that's what Raymond won the fight too. You get what I'm saying? Pro experience, being able to go to rounds, and I think that's where Andy was the most inexperienced at. I think going them rounds, and I think it's something to what Keyshawn used to say about him, criticizing him. Remember, Keyshawn used to say, man, why don't y'all tell him to learn how to turn his punches over? So that's a big critique people have for him, saying he'd be slapping and stuff too, slapping with his shots. Like I said, you can't fight at 135 and fight in a manner where it's like, keep them off me. Like, you got to be able to keep people off you or box them off you. Either or, right? Because I ain't big on that whole, you know, you can't keep a guy off you. But this was one of the fights where that statement was kind of true. You couldn't determine.
Yeah, in that back half of that fight, man, you start seeing it, because early on it felt like Andy was being elusive and he was being evasive, and then after a certain point, it just felt like he was trying to survive.
Yeah. Like,
and just throwing these little punches, get him off me, and then I'm moving, so I'm not feeling these shots. But it didn't really feel like he was in control. Right. And a lot of the times, like, even when he was making Raymond miss, it's just the optics. It's where he allowed the fight to take place. Like, Andy wasn't able to hold down the center of the ring. So if you got your backs to the ropes down the stretch, it's looking like you just getting wailed on, because the referee, he can't see whether or not the punches are landing cleanly or if they're landing at all. He just sees one guy working and you up against the ropes, or you trying to outmaneuver this guy.
Right.
You're not even being slick at that point. You're just trying to get away. So, yeah, man, that experience in that regard. But this was something that Andy needed, though, because truth be told, all of those guys that are in the middle, all of like the fringe contenders, I feel like he's gonna beat those guys. So it was he was in a position where it was kind of like championship or nothing with him.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
And we seen it like with Lomachenko, another dude, decorated amateur. Remember, against Salido, he was like technically the better fighter, but there were just those little veteran things that he just hadn't developed yet. Like, Salido was able to rough his ass up, and then after that, we seen Loma get a little bit nastier when fighting in the pocket and being more physical. You seen what my man Devin Haney said, like, yo, you got to watch him. He like to hit off the break. That's stuff that he learned from the Salido fight. If he doesn't go through that Salido fight, he doesn't pick up them little roughhouse tactics, those little dirty things that you need occasionally. And I think with Andy Cruz, it's the same thing. Like, especially as far as turning the shots over. Another guy, Olympic gold medalist, Robson Conceição. To this day, this man does not turn his right hand over. He's still slapping with it.
Yeah.
So it's something to be said for some of these guys that are a little bit like overcooked in the amateurs, to where like they never quite completely make the full transformation as a pro, offensively at least.
It's like that muscle memory be a bitch, boy.
Yeah,
you
man.
know what I mean? You've been doing that shit for so long. It's like you gotta really drill that shit out your mind, and it'd be hard for those guys to do it. It's like, especially if it's something that they've been comfortable with and they've gotten away with it to a degree in the pros as well. Now, when you get at the highest level in the pros, you can't expect for them to just make that switch because they've still been doing it. So it's one of them things.
Raymond said he didn't feel his power at all.
Right. It's one of them
he didn't
things
feel his power at all, man. And that's not good.
Yeah.
Because you gotta at least be able to keep somebody honest. You ain't gotta be like a huge puncher, but if you're a sharp puncher, like how Berto described Floyd's punches, he's like, you're gonna feel that. You know what I mean? Like, when keep you honest. You don't want to just run up in there. And Raymond, I thought that he did a really good job of not allowing the fight to get away from him, because I want to say the first 4 rounds, it felt like Andy Cruz was going to outbox him, but he stayed with it. I like the way that he applied the pressure because it wasn't reckless. He wasn't just going out there letting his hands go. And as the fight bore on, he got to the body with more frequency. And then as he got to the body with more frequency, now Andy's he's not as elusive. He's still trying to move to get the hell up out of Dodge, but it wasn't like as crisp. It wasn't as abrupt as it was early.
Right.
And Raymond did a really good job of just staying with it. Settled him down, bro.
Down with the body work.
Perfect word. Settled him down.
Right. Follow through it. Made the early deposits and followed through with it. And it should pay dividends just well enough for him to keep him in the spots where he could work them. Combinations change, the level changes, and mixing it up, mixing his attacks. He's really consistent and smart in that fight. Yeah, his defense was solid despite the facial marks and stuff. I know people go crazy, but he wasn't stupid at all in that fight. He's very smart. Like, you're gonna get hit because Andy Cruz is a top guy too, man. He's very, very skillful, so he's gonna hit you back, but he couldn't deter him. So that
he didn't get hit with nothing dumb. I think that's what I would take away from Ray. It was like he was very, very solid defensively. Like, it wasn't a remarkable defensive performance. It wasn't what we just saw last Saturday weekend, you know what I mean, or whatever. But it wasn't that. But it was very solid to where he wasn't getting hit with anything he wasn't supposed to get hit with.
Right.
Because, again, and I got to give Andy Cruz credit early on, too. I thought that Andy did a really good job of mixing up his punch selection. Like, the combinations, he was throwing some really nice combinations in terms of, like, the numbers. Not the frequency, but the numbers. Like, instead of just throwing a traditional 1-2, he'll throw like a 1-3, double up on this side, come back on the other side. I was like, okay, Andy.
Right.
He was getting busy. He did his thing.
Up, man.
But that pressure, man, that pressure from Ray slowed him down.
Y'all hit that like button, y'all. We're gonna keep rolling.
And, you know, I know that you won all the big fights, but would you still want to see him and Keyshawn face each other? And how do you think that would go?
Honestly, I mean, that'd be, I don't know, I feel like,
Ray
I haven't even seen their fights that they have fought together, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think it'll be a good boxing match. I feel like it'll be technical with them.
You know, now getting to you, right? Now that you got Andy out the way, I mean, everyone's already lining you up with, you know, Abdullah Mason, I mean, Shakur Stevenson, I mean, Keyshawn himself. I mean, everyone's like, Raymond deserves a chance, right? It makes sense, you know, if he didn't get the big name or wasn't promoted as the pay-per-view fighter, everyone has now realized, like, you can be into all these matches at 135.
Yeah, and he did well for the first
I gotta ask you, like, which one is the most enticing one for you? You know, I know Shakur just had his win. You know, Abdullah is on the same stable. I mean, not the same promotional company. So, I mean, which one stands out the most to you and why?
For me, I would like to fight Shakur.
Yeah.
I think that's one that would make more sense. But yeah, man, I think that's a big fight. I think boxing would love that. Fans would love that. I think that's a fight that we should get going.
You know, I know he had his dominant performance on Saturday. What was your thoughts, and why do you think he was able to not just win, but dominate in the fashion that Tio looked? Some people would say not even at the level to even compete, I guess, with at that stage.
Yeah, I mean, Shakur looked good. I mean, he boxed him well, and he just dominated that fight. Yeah, Tio didn't even look like Tio himself, you know, and yeah, it was a good performance from Shakur.
Do you feel like with your style, right, compared to Tio, that you would be a more technical fight with Shakur and be able to give him a tougher, I guess, chess match? Because he did an interview kind of saying that he kind of figured you out, and he kind of almost kind of laughed like as in you were easy. Like I got him figured out. So, I mean, why do you feel like this would be a very tough fight for him?
Yeah, I think my style's a lot different than Tio's. And it's gonna be one of those things, man, where it would be hard to tell you how. It's just one of those situations where we just gotta fight, and I just have to show you. You know what I mean?
I ain't mad at that.
But as far as that, yeah, I think my style is just different. You just wouldn't it would just be like unexpected. Like you wouldn't expect like anything from it. It'll be different.
Do you think that defense that everyone says that is that almost like they're coining them as like the next Purnell, the next Floyd, you be able to break it, like crack it, because it seems like no one has been able to get any real highlights on him.
Yeah, I mean he does have good defense, man. But I got good timing and I know when to punch, and yeah, I think that's gonna play a huge factor.
He stood toe to toe and actually stepped to Tio. You think he will be able to match that with you in a sense? Not giving away game plans, but
yeah,
would
I got no idea, man. We're gonna have to see it play out.
To this dude.
Would this be a fight now that happens to be at 140 because he has been stripped? I don't know if you saw of the WBC. They removed him from the championship position at the lightweight, so he'll hold the WBO, but now that title is vacant. So, so I guess would you go to 140 or because he's mentioned to come down to 135? So I don't know what will be kind of the case now, but
yeah, whatever he decides to do, guess we'll just have to wait. But I'll meet him at 140.
Yeah,
I'll meet him at 40, 35, whatever he wants to do.
Regardless if the unification is no longer now potentially happening, it's just more about just fighting Shakur, right? What they consider is the guy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you? And I guess this might be something that obviously doesn't apply to you, right? But the whole removing of the title, right? Are you understanding or a little, I guess, do you have an opinion because he won the title at 140 but mentioned he'll come down to 135? And I'm assuming in the hopes of likes to unify with you, because I only think why would he come down to 135 and not unify if he's trying to keep the title, right? So was that a little disappointing to, I guess, hear that it sounds like he is trying to match up with you, but now that title is now on the wayside?
Yeah, like I said, I mean at 35 or 140, like I'm down for whatever. So yeah, if he's not gonna be back at 35 and wants me to meet me at 140, then I'll do that. So yeah, to me, it don't matter.
Awesome. And then if the Shakur fight doesn't happen, right, because of politics or certain standings, what would be then your plan at that point? Is it still then to unify? Is it try to race to either whoever has the WBC or who'll be in position, or maybe Abdullah Mason, or what would be? I know that the Tank's belt is probably going to be vacant as well. So is it to maybe, if not Shakur, to get a belt, or is it still like the names that kind of gravitate you more?
Definitely, yeah. If we can't get anything big, I'm I like 140. I like the champions at 140 and any of the champions at 140. I think Dalton Smith. I think that would be a huge fight also.
Yeah. So at this point, it's just like champions with a name and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's everyone at 140. Richardson, Hitchens, Dalton Smith. I know Keyshawn doesn't have a belt, but even Keyshawn Davis also.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Big
bro don't like interviews.
Fights what boxing wants, so trying to get him on.
Awesome. Right before I let you go, man. I guess the ring walk maybe threw some people off, right? Because I guess they assume they know who you are, right? They make all these type of pre-notes.
Yeah, but so hell with that. Shout out to Ron Goodell. Shout out to Fight Hype. So you hear him, man. He spoke his piece, man. He's not really big on doing a whole lot of trash talking. He really about that action, man. Raymond Muratalla has been a good fighter. He continues to show you why he's one of them guys, man. And with being a champion, I'm pretty sure he got some options. I like the fact that he's open to fights at 35 or 40, either or. You know what I'm saying? I think ultimately what these guys are looking to do, all fighters, is finding the most lucrative opportunity in the best fight, right? They can get that, they good to go, man. I don't think he really got no picks from what it sounds like, but he just want opportunities and either to unify and or fight somebody with a name. He didn't sound like it was championship or unification or bust or anything like that. It just sounded like he want opportunities. One of those opportunities he said being Shakur. So I think with both of those guys coming off their, biggest wins and stuff, somebody got look to capitalize. I would like to see it, man. He took virtually no punishment against Teofimo at all. Can't wait to see what the next fight gonna be. I know he just got out the ring, but you know how that go. We be right there looking for that next for that next fight, man. You get me? Sitting there waiting for it, man. And he said something about Floyd's as far as his defense. They always make that comparison. I think they always is, man. Sean Porter, Sean Zytel was on Sean Porter podcast, and he had said something about his defense.
Defensively, this was the best performance since Mayweather Canelo on a defensive end in terms of just totally shutting down an elite level fighter in a lineal legit championship fight. So yeah,
Did you happen to catch the number of how many times he got hit in this fight?
Shakur?
Yeah.
It was at about 15%. He landed around 45%. He came into the fight with, I believe, the widest discrepancy between percentage landed on him versus his accuracy, and that held up in this fight as well. I thought Tio would have a better chance getting Shakur to come to him, but it really didn't matter whether Shakur was walking him down or whether Shakur was taking a step back. His resets were, just what's a good word for it that does it justice?
That his ability to control that tempo, and
not have to really get it that far out of range.
Where the fight, dictating the pace, where the fight happens at, and all those other small nuances that Shakur possesses. It's a great question. I don't know. I just think impeccable. I just think that the other side of that is, Gordo just wasn't ready enough.
Gordo, they really call him Gordo. Straight back body said they never say Gary Antoine Russell name. Look, I think Gary's a threat. People know that. I think it's well understood that people feel like he's a threat here. He's one of them dogs. He's been inked, to fight Andy Hiroko for some time. So I feel like anybody speaking his name now would be kind of just saying his name to save face. With him, it's going to be more than just people calling him out, man. It's going to be about what his people got planned for him, right? He is a dog, a dangerous guy. I can't wait to see how he look against Andy Hiroko. You know what I mean? He talking like he coming to make a statement like always, man. Gary's a dog. I said this before. This is a while back. Cole was still at 35, and they asked him about fights with Matias and Gary Antoine Russell at 40. So you never know if that conversation will ever be a thing now that he back up there. But you know, to what you're saying though, as far as not speaking his name, they know that he's a dangerous fight for people. They know it, and I think the fact that he got a belt, maybe the risk is worth the reward. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be able to get fights, man. You know, I see people say he's avoided. I can't really say that, right? But I just don't think people be in a rush to try to call him out, right? At the same time, but I don't think people are unwilling to fight him. He's dangerous. He got a hell of a motor. Like his approach, he physical in there. He can box as well. Like Gary Antoine Russell, people ain't gonna just be in a rush to get in with a damn dude. He like to do what a lot of guys don't like to do, and that's fight. You know, he like it. So, man. Until I start seeing him like getting issues, getting fights, though, I'll start looking at it different. But I don't think it's been tough selling because I do remember he had got offered a title shot beforehand, and they ain't take it because they wanted to make sure they're prepared. So I think Gary's been getting his shots so far.
He has, man. Like, remember, he went up there, challenged Rayo for his belt.
Mm-hmm. Off the loss.
Yeah, off a loss.
Off the loss.
He fought against Rayo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he's just being completely frozen out. Yeah. We also got to remember how long he's been attached to Andy Hiroka. Like, this fight was supposed to take place months ago. Then it got pushed back. So as long as they're still in contract, you got to get that out the way first before anybody even talks about fighting him. And that was, for me, one of the biggest disappointments of the fallout between Tank and Jake Paul because he was supposed to be on that card.
Yeah.
And I felt like that card, man, like it was going to do numbers.
Right.
Did numbers with Joshua, but I felt like it was going to really do numbers with Tank.
I do.
And for whatever reason, after Tank was no longer attached to it, it seemed like maybe MVP didn't want nothing to do with PBC. I have no idea. But that would have been a great look for for Gary Antoine to be, what was he going to be, like co-main on that?
Right.
Or like third to last, man. He would have had millions of people watching him, so that would have boosted his profile. That's another thing we got to take into consideration with some of these guys is that they're just tough outs.
Yeah.
These dudes want to get paid too.
Yeah.
And part of being paid has to do with the profile of the fighter. So again, just to reiterate, I felt like, man, it was just a huge blow to potentially boosting his profile.
Right.
Because God knows how many people would have seen him fight. And I feel like he would have showed up and he would have showed out. Then we'd be like, damn, I want to see that Gary Antoine kid again.
All right, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, man. So I think I'm with you. Everything you saying is on point. I think that's what we'll know more about once he get this fight out the way. Hiroka is no slouch. I believe he is an undefeated guy as well, ain't he? So and with some good crack, some good punching power. So that boxing ability, right? They got a sturdy guy in front of him for sure. You know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting to see how this this fight being postponed in the way that it's been. Like, did it affect one guy or the other? You know, I could pretty much guess though for these guys, it's probably business as usual. They just made sure they stay locked in and in the gym. I know Gary is going to be on point. I know that the Russells is working, and I'm pretty sure Andy putting in some work because he can't afford not to be. You know what I'm saying? You got a real opportunity here, win a world title. I know you want it. You know what I'm saying? So you got guys be hungry too. They got plans too. So I want to see how motivated he is when he get in his ring with Gary and with how he fight. You know what I mean? Is he going to fight like somebody that's trying to win some or is somebody that's trying not to lose? I mean, but yeah. Not no big money fight yet. You know what I mean? Some could argue that he could be a little under promoted to a degree because not too long ago he was undefeated with 100% KO ratio. You know, so I just think is
and that's what they say the casual is like, right? Knockouts and violence and all this other stuff. So a lot of times these promoters definitely do these guys a disservice by not promoting them. You saw the same thing with Bud. Like Bud was. Damn, he was damn near like a promoter's dream from a performance standpoint because he was smoking shit, knocking people out and boxing at a high level and top rank still wasn't really able to put him over the top. So Promoters, do your jobs.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do your job. Promote your guy, especially when he out here smoking and everything. You know what I'm saying? Promote your guy. At 40. Good Friday. We're an hour in, man. Look, smash that like button. Sub to the channel. We're going to keep rocking. This interview is not super, super long. It's like 20 minutes or so. You know, dude, I asked, you know, where's the report? As if he didn't believe that Canelo was saying anything about a rematch. But we're going to get into it in this, where he sat down with Mr. Versace. Mr. Versace. You know, did a little interview, but he was saying some things here, but no, you never know with Canelo.
Time. Undisputed super middleweight champion and former ring Alvarez. Canelo, last time we saw you in Las Vegas, I believe first boxing match in that stadium, in Raiders Stadium. Over 40 million people watched it on Netflix. Things didn't go your way, but you're a guy who, after any fight, you look at what went wrong, what went right. Looking back on that fight with Terrence Crawford.
Like this,
and this and that, and then I don't recuperate my weight like I need it. So I feel a little bit tired. I feel like a little.
Yeah. Tripping without the luggage. Hold on, y'all. My bad. Pardon me for the difficulties. Telling you, man, I really might look into a new streaming service this weekend.
He deserves all the credit. No, he make a better strategy than me, but I think I did well. I did well, even if my body don't feel like I really want, but I did well. But it is what it is. No, you need to take the losses and learn from that and keep going.
What was Eddie saying to you in the corner as the fight was going on? Was he urging you, like saying you're doing this right or you're doing this wrong, or more pressure?
He tell me everything, and I try, but my body doesn't respond. I have cramps in my legs, so doesn't respond the way I really want. But you know, it is what it is. We learn from that.
I have cramp in my leg, and you know, and it is what it is. You learn from that. He learned that. He learned that damn turn. It is what it is. He said that shit flawless, don't he? Never. He said I tried. My body won't let me. So I think some of that stuff too, man, is I don't know, wear and tear, man. You just never know when shit like that could spring up on you, right? He has been a guy in the past that have been known to have injuries, issues with knees, elbows, and different things like that, wrists. He had a number of different injuries, right? So I think anybody that got close to 70 fights or about 70 fights, you're gonna have some wear and tear. I mean, it's virtually no way around it, right? You're gonna have a little bit of wear and tear, Chief, and I think that's what it is. But you know, although I've given Canelo flack in the past for the way he's moved, but one thing about him, you can say what you want. He got a lot of fights, a lot of success, made a lot of money, a lot of wins, still operating at the highest level this late into his career, is it's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Mexican got his dude been pro since he was 15 years old. I don't even know who else I can think of that can match that. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Dude been knocking out grown men since a teenager. And yeah, B, shout out to Marcus, my dog, man. Appreciate the love for that 10-piece in the Cash App supporting the grind. Much love on this Good Friday. Look, y'all, hit that like button, sub to the channel, with the notifications, support the build. We gonna get to this.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
It's a side note. Y'all see what Virgil manager said? He's still talking. Nah, let me know, Reef. We're gonna get to this though. But and like I said, this not that long. I'm gonna try to play it through. You know what I mean? Just let it rock.
And we move forward.
Shout out to Marcus.
I know what
love,
mistakes I made in the fight and in the camp too. But that's what it's boxing about. I think a winner doesn't mean you need to win every time. No, you need to learn from everything, from the losses, take the losses, and learn from that, and move forward, and still doing the things you love.
Now, you could have fought anyone last year. You know, you're big enough where you could have put me in the ring, and it would have been numbers. You gave him a big opportunity. You're a type of guy who likes a little payback. Was there any part of you that got upset when he announced his retirement and you said, "Oh, I gave you the opportunity. Now you're not going to give me the opportunity back"?
Yeah, of course. That's. I think he don't. I always give all his credit, no, but we need to run it back. That's why my tough. When after the fight,
he said run it back
this fight, because I don't feel the way I really want
to run it back this fight,
and I need to make this fight happen again, no, and it's gonna be different. I think for him to the
bro, Nello said we need to run it back. I need this one. We need to run it back. Like hell nah, bro. This is the difference. We got 80 people in the building. Hit the like button, y'all. Y'all already know the drill. Let's build, man. Let's build. But he got one thing he need to consider too, and I understand what he's saying. I feel like if Terrence Crawford stuck around at all and fought any fight, it should have been a rematch if that was the case, right? Just because of, if that's something you really wanted. But you got to consider where Crawford is in his career, 38 years old. It took some doing to get this fight done. Remember, you initially was saying you didn't want it. You ain't like how Turkey did business at first. It was some yellow and red tape that y'all had to, peel through to get this over the hump. Not saying it was impossible. It got done ultimately because it was just too much money on the table to lead this fight there. You know what I'm saying? But I just think at 38 years old, 5 different weight classes, man, I don't know. He's not 35 years old, right? He's been boxing since he was 08, right? He might have injuries and different things that's adding up as well. You know what I'm saying? So you got to see. You know what I'm saying? We got to see, man. But Crawford already said it, so we really don't got to see. He said no amount of money is making him come out. He good where he at. 100 million, none of that. He said he ain't selling his soul at that. That'd be selling your soul at this point. He don't want it. Boxing bill, what it do? Man, look, I'll say this real quick and we're gonna get right back to this interview. Shout out to James Toney. I get it. I don't see it his way with the comments that he made about Shakur being boring. Oh, he don't throw combinations. I'm getting tired of hearing certain stuff. Like, I'll look at it this way. James Toney grew up in a certain era, right? With a certain style. So he has a preference, right? And he looking at how he would approach things. So you got to think about it like that, right? He talking about from his standpoint. But at the same token, a lot of people would say, look how he talk. He say ain't nothing wrong with him, but I beg to differ. It's tough to explain or convince me that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you and you sound like that. Respect to him though. So I just chalked it up as he grew up in that era. He fought a certain way, particular style, mixed in with his preferences, and Shakur just ain't his style of fighter, right? He get in there and do the combinations, and if you know how we know, we covered that Shakur is number 2 in the world in combination percentage landed, right? Punches landed, combination punches landed, percentage wise, right? Only one on top of that is Benavidez. So, could he have been more offensive? Absolutely. Could he have put more punches together? Absolutely. Could he have even possibly forced to stop? I think so. But Shakur is who he is, and I think the ones that know, that's a part of his game we're going to always have to work on, stopping guys. So that's just not who he is naturally, right? He's a pure boxer, one of the best chess players that I've seen do it, and that's what he is. And a lot of times people mix their preference up for what's good. Like, you can't say he's not good, but he's boring. But it's boxing, right? It's hit and I'll get hit. Do he do it? Do we do it at a high level? Did he do it at the highest of levels against Tio, right? So it's tough. You know, Shannon Sharp took some shots as well. And like I said, just might not be their cup of tea, but Shakur Stevenson is one of the best talents in boxing today. You know, they know what's up.
Deserve all the credit he need to. He need to give me the rematch, obviously. But he decided to retire.
Obviously. I love it. Canelo. Forward. Come on, take notes, y'all. All the fighters that don't speak English, bro, take notes. You run this back a little bit.
I don't feel the way I really want. And I need to make this fight happen again. No? And it's gonna be different. I think for him to deserve all the credit, he need to give me the rematch, obviously. But he decided to retire, and we need to accept that and move forward. I'm gonna keep forward and do the fights I want and fight for our world champions again, with the world champions again, and that's it. But I think the rematch will be perfect for boxing. No, but it is what it is.
Now, originally.
And real quick, so if anybody had any questions about the title, like, bro, that came in steaming hot, man, where is the reports? Not gonna see the reports like that, because I think people feel like I feel it's less likely to happen. The reason I decided to talk about it because it was fitting. You got him coming out saying this, and then you got Bud Crawford doing what was it? Was it the Pivot podcast that he was on? He was talking to them where he was saying no amount of money he ain't coming back, basically, right? So it made sense, but I don't think this is a fight that was gonna happen. And it's funny why I wouldn't even trip about him not coming back, giving him a rematch, because man, the world know, man, you should have fought David Benavidez. I guarantee you the world rather see that than you fight Bud Crawford again. I guarantee you. I can guarantee that they would much rather see that for the first time. I don't think you beat Crawford in a rematch, because I think you are who you are at this point, man. That's not a bad fighter. It's a lot of guys that's not gonna beat you if they got in the ring with you. But at the same token, your skill set is what it is. You've shown, you know, whenever you went up against a certain kind of style of fighter, they've always given you issues, and I don't think that's ever going to change. And in fact, like some of this, I want to say Canelo bluffing. Again, maybe pride alone make him want to go out there and make that fight, but I just, part of me is a little, you know, resistant on that, because I heard his people come out. You know, Eric Gomez came out and said, yo, they stayed away from that particular style for years. Like, they kept them away from it. I'm like, wow, like, it's amazing what come out after a fight take place. Y'all start spilling the beans, and it made me feel like, damn, like, this is shit we kind of already knew, but you solidify it, and you kind of, you know, you make it what it is when you stamp it the way you did. So I don't know, maybe he's willing to go back in there with Crawford. He did it once, you know, with that kind of money that he making. I ain't saying he ain't willing to do it, but that'd be a little surprise, because again, he rematched Triple G. That's it. You know, Floyd was Floyd, Beaver was Beaver. He talked about wanting to fight Beaver for a while too, right? In a rematch. Beaver was saying, hey, come down to 68, take them belts. You see, that never happened. He's been claiming that too. So I don't know. I think he's just a really prideful guy. He's speaking like a fighter, but I don't think he's going out of his way to try to make this fight. I see the headlines. Some people are saying he's begging for a fight. I'm not big on that term, begging in boxing. Come on, man. He's one of the biggest draws and biggest stars in the sport. I don't think he got to beg, because and this is why boxing is trash. Because before the fight was made, y'all was saying Crawford was begging Canelo for a fight. Now the fight over. Now is Canelo begging Crawford? Nobody's begging. No, these dudes is well off. They rich as hell. Canelo's prideful. At the best, at the least, worst case scenario, he would want a rematch just to save face, or maybe go out there and prove it. But I don't think he, losing no sleep that Terrence Crawford retired. You heard him, man. We just got to accept it and move on. Now I can go fight these other guys. Look, I'll let y'all know I'm willing to go out there and fight him again. You know, he speaking like a fighter, but I don't think that's something he really trying to pursue. He got other shit to do. You know what I'm saying?
I think he would pursue it though, based on because that same Eric Gomez interview, Eric Gomez, what he said about Canelo made me respect Canelo even more. Because Golden Boy and company, they did not want him to face that type of style. They were avoiding it for as long as they could.
Right.
They were avoiding like the damn, like a process server.
Right.
But he did say that Canelo was the one who made the push for the Erislandy Lara fight.
Right.
Against the advisement of his team. So
yeah.
I think that Canelo was prideful
Took some
enough
doing
to.
though. Took some
Yeah,
doing.
but that was on him though. He had to push for it. They didn't want that fight.
He had
Golden Boy didn't want the Lara fight.
Remember, he had to piss Canelo off a little bit. Canelo said, "All right, bro, you want to fight? I got you. Been running your yak, bet I got you." Lara was pressing. He was on his helmet for a little bit. He wanted that fight, and he took it. Respect to Canelo. I don't think it's a matter of.
I had to stress again though that he was the one that pushed for it because Golden Boy did not want the fight.
Yeah.
Like, hell no, we trying to avoid that style. And I could understand where Canelo's coming from, where he's probably looking at his team like, yo, y'all ain't got no faith in the kid? Hold on, let me show y'all something. Y'all don't want me to fight this type of style?
They was thinking you shouldn't have
put
fought
it on the
him, and he
line.
wanted to prove it. So he is a very prideful guy. But like I will say this, I don't want to say that he wouldn't actually get in there. But
his team probably don't want that fight again. I know that for sure. They're probably like, hell no.
Like, you get beat handily like that, you haven't gotten back in there with guys, like, because ain't nothing stop you from the Beaver fight. You get me? That shit ain't stopped. It just fizzled away. So, like I said, man, it's one of them things, pride to make him get back in there. So I do think, to a degree, he is prideful enough to run it back. It has nothing to do with fear or nothing. But again, I know when he hear he retired, he like, I ain't.
He got a strong brand, man. Canelo got a strong brand, and there's a lot of people advising him to do everything that he can to uphold that brand.
Exactly.
And if that includes avoiding a certain style of fighter, or even a guy like David Benavidez, because you don't want to quote unquote pass the torch, because you knew Jaime Munguia couldn't do nothing with you. He Mexican.
Right.
You didn't see him fight on Chavez Jr. He couldn't do nothing with him. He's Mexican.
Word. He said, "I go down there, boy, at 68, take them titles. I'm really not that big. I can make 68."
Canelo got a lot of VMC and Coronas and all them other things to sell.
I'm telling you, man, he older than 35, man. So I don't know. That just would be a bad fight at this point to fight Crawford. It'd just be pride at that, and it's something that you could respect. But I think he'd definitely get cooked again. But now we ain't got to see it, and it'll be interesting to see who he find himself in the ring with. But this is a bit of boxing karma for Canelo if this is something that he truly was looking forward to, because we all know that David Benavidez has been deserved this shot. You got two damn junior middleweights pretty much. A guy that started at 35 and a junior middleweight, career junior middleweight, got opportunities to fight you at 168 pounds for undisputed before Benavidez. And that's the way it's going to be. So I think it's boxing karma, man, returning the favor. And Crawford, I don't think it was trying to get out of, a possible loss or none. I think the writing was on the wall. I think the way people perceived him, the way they, tore at his career and poked at him the entire way. It's one of those things where you've accomplished so much. Is there really more? Like he said, I don't need the extra 100 million. I ain't coming back for that. You get me? And I'm glad he did it on his own terms, man. So I think he was ready to go, man. You imagine giving that much of your life to a sport for the people that you represent at the highest level to be the ones tearing you down at every corner. The shit is crazy. That make me be ready to retire too. Like, bro, I'm good on y'all. Ryan was good with it, man. Hopefully one of them fights happen, man. But we're gonna get to some things, man. It's still early in the stream. Y'all have to but let me rock out. Let me turn this back. Let's see what else Canelo had to say.
You were slated to come back in February. You were sidelined with an injury. Tell us what happened, the injury, and how has the recovery been?
I have injuries, a lot of injuries in the past, obviously, because I have a lot of fights and a lot of training camps, a lot of work for a long time. So, and I never take care about my body. I always, no, it's good. I can handle this. one more fight. I never take care about my body, and I think this is a moment when I need to stop a little bit, make that stop, and take care about my body, and that's what I did. And I did that surgery in my elbow, and things went well. So I feel better. So I'm gonna be ready for September.
A lot has changed over the last 2 years in the landscape of the super middleweight division. What are your views on it right now?
I don't know yet. I just know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna fight in September 12th, but I wanna fight world champions. So that's the idea.
And speaking of September 12th, you're coming back, second fight in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Tell us about how that decision came to fight overseas in Riyadh and how your relationship has progressed with Turki Al Sheikh, because obviously you and His Excellency got off to a little bit of a rocky start in the beginning, but now two of you are very good friends.
I think in the beginning was a misunderstanding. He talked with the wrong people. He approached to me in the wrong way with the wrong people. That's what happened. But as soon we spoke in person, everything was perfect. And now I appreciate him as a friend, and I appreciate everything he's doing for boxing too, and I appreciate all the things he do for me and my family. So it's different now, no. And in the contract we have like that. We have these two fights in Riyadh. So, and I'm glad to go there and experience all these things. I already fought in Riyadh, and I'm happy to go again.
So if you had it your way, who would you like to fight in September? Do you want to go straight into a world title fight?
Yes. I don't want to take an easy fight and come back and all that kind of shit. No, I want to go straight and fight champions.
At this point in your career, you've accomplished just about everything. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer. What is left that you think you need to accomplish? I mean, you have the money, you've had the belts, you probably have made enough money to live 100 times over if you retired right now. What is keeping you going right now?
I love boxing, and I think that my passion for boxing. No, and I always say, oh, I accomplish everything and this and that, but every time I fight, I always break some record.
Yeah.
If you look back, every time I say, well, I pretty much accomplish everything. No, is there no more than that? No more accomplished that I accomplished already. But if you look back, every time I fight, I break records for some reason. So, and that's made me motivate.
At any point, has your family, whether it's your children, your wife?
That's an interesting answer. You like every time you fight, breaking records and stuff like that. So maybe is that the motivation, like breaking numbers? I don't know. Is that the legacy? I don't know. Let's see what else.
Your father, your brothers have said, listen, maybe it's time to walk away. You've done everything.
No. Never say that to me. Maybe because I spoke with my wife about it, and my wife I would respect my decision. And if she sees something about wrong on me, she will tell me. So, and my trainer Eddie Reynoso too. So we're fine. I feel very good. I feel strong. So, and everybody respect my decision because I'm very true with myself too. I know when it's time to do the things, and right now I'm in a good moment to.
I think he 35 with 70 fights. Been boxing since he was 15. So think about that wear and tear. He might be 35 in age, but the knees, the elbows, and all that stuff, he getting up there. Definitely got a lot of miles on the engine.
Definitely those legs,
to
man.
Saudi
Remember,
Arabia.
he had that
I know when I
arthroscopic
first,
surgery in 2018. And then that Triple G, the rematch, he had the blue tape on the knee. If you watch the William Skull fight, I think I sent you the clips. It was around like round 2, round 3. His corner man was massaging his knee. I was like, damn, that's not a good sign. And he looked slow as hell in that fight. And then for him to say versus Bud that he it basically he's having issues with his legs.
And your body won't respond. That's age. That's like
Yep.
nothing.
You want to do it. Your mind is saying close the gap, but your legs is like, hell no, nah, bro.
Exactly. And when you get to that point, it becomes very dangerous. And I just don't see him physically being a better version of what we've seen consistently for the last handful of fights. So without that, I don't see much changing for you in the fight. I don't think you're going to outsmart this guy and none of that. I think he just beat you too soundly. Like, you're not going to have enough of the answers. That fight wasn't close enough where all you need just adjustment here or there and it swing in your favor. It's not one of them things. Like he beat you convincingly and it showed you that he can control the fight. Yeah, he love that bread, man. You see him sitting up there with his Yankee on with his fur. Canelo rich as hell, man. He got swag. Canelo got some swag, man. He out here talking about it is what it is. We need to run it back. Like I'm like, yo, I like this dude, man. He grew on me just because he's speaking that English, man. Love it, bro. That man needed a translator once upon a time. Now he doing whole interviews in English. Shout out to Canelo Alvarez for that.
Just went there for the first time. I've been there many times now. It was almost like a culture shock.
Yeah.
You know, because you read so many things that aren't true. And then when you go there, I felt like it was one of the safest cities I could walk in. I felt like I could walk all my jewelry, everything. I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
How was your experience when you first landed and you were like, wow, this is completely different than anything I've read about?
Yeah, it's different. It's like that's why I don't read so much news or bad news, because most of the news, bad news and everything is 1% true. So when I went in Riyadh, when I went in Saudi Arabia, I feel obviously pretty safe, no? And I like the country.
Yes,
I like the culture too, and the people. So I like everything about Saudi Arabia. So it's not the things they say. It's like in Mexico.
Yeah,
you can hear a lot of bad things about Mexico. You went there, it's not the same. So I feel the same in Saudi Arabia. I feel like at home.
Now you've pretty much carried for the last couple of years Mexican boxing on your back. Is part of that
couple of years?
Well, a long time. I'm trying to still keep you young.
Get it right, buddy.
No, I know I'm young, but I'm boxing.
Boxing,
a lot of years in boxing.
Do you think part of that is what's keeping you going? Because when you look around, you know, for years they've been trying to build a successor to you, and there still really isn't no successor. There's guys who are good, guys who could fight, but there's no superstar.
No. You mean in the whole boxing world?
I don't see.
It's not just Mexico. I think.
But I'm talking about like from your country.
Yeah.
I don't see that next Mexican crossover superstar.
There's a lot of good fighters.
There's a lot of good fighters.
You're right. There's a lot of good fighters, but we need that special fighter. No,
we keep winning them fights.
Superstar fighter. But it's always.
They just got to be willing to see. The thing is, people are still cool with Canelo being in the sport and not passing the torch. But truth be told, he's saying that, man. Benavidez is that guy. He'll fight whoever.
They embrace him like that, though. That's the thing with Benavidez. Is like where it get a little tricky, because if you're talking about just straight up Mexican, I guess they would consider Canelo like Mexican American. Not Canelo, Benavidez like Mexican American. Then there's also, you know, the people who would say, well, he's also partially Ecuadorian or whatever the hell it is, on his mom's side. So from my understanding, like his grandmother took offense to the whole Mexican monster thing. And it's part of the reason why he became like El Monstro, just the monster without the Mexican part on it.
Right. So and then I peeped that. Yeah, that's a good observation. I peeped that. I did the El Monstro. Yeah, I peeped it.
It's some little distinctions like that, bro. Because I agree with you. Because if we're just talking about just Mexican fighters, and hell yeah, you'd have to put David Benavidez up there. And as long as he continues to win in impressive fashion, then he's like on the cusp of superstardom.
Right.
But it's like for this question specifically, like who's the next Mexican, like the guy that's coming out of Mexico? Because if I'm not mistaken, David Benavidez is from Arizona or like Washington or something like that.
You're right. And I think what you're saying, as well as them just they're cool with Canelo not passing the torch. Some people ain't ready for it. Right? They still like, nah, he here, man. You gotta take it from him, but that's next to impossible. And I think what you was just describing too, like far as the way they look at Benavidez, I think that's what Canelo knows, man. And not in all instances when you fight the man, you become the man. But I think this is one of the rare instances where that could potentially be very close to happening if he would have ever gave that man a shot. And I think Canelo knows that as well. Bro, you let a guy that they calling a Mexican monster beat you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been so, all this, I ain't fighting Mexicans. But like I said, they ain't behind me Mexican. You whooped his ass. So it's like, I think he low-key is, I think it'd be a bad business and career move for him to fight Benavidez and lose to him. So I think as crazy as that may sound, I think it's really deeper than, fear. I never thought it was that or, none of that. It's
branding, man. Branding. Canelo was a huge brand, bro. And
that would take a
David Benavidez puts him over the top because what's name was having similar issues early on in his career as far as getting respect from the Mexican people. Oscar De La Hoya, because he's from like LA.
Right.
So they were looking at him kind of but then he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
You get
whooped his ass, and then he became the man, and then the Mexican people start really, really embracing him like that.
And I think that's what Benavidez need. And Canelo is not about to allow him a springboard.
He ain't gonna give him the alley
off his back.
He ain't gonna give him the alley.
You get me? He like, bro, like maybe he convinced himself that he don't deserve the shot somewhere along the lines, but I think the other side of it was like, man, loss to him could be a bad business decision and career move. It really could. That shit could hit different. I'm telling you, that's a situation where I really do think the man could somewhat start to become that man off a win like that. And it's hard. Like, what you gonna say? Who you gonna pull out the woodworks for this dude? You get me? Benavidez is gonna beat a lot more ass before it's all said and done. Zorro better be prepared because he about to get cooked. Crawford will come back if the money is right. Nah, he already said he not. They already asked him. He said 100 million, you wouldn't come back. He said no. Said it'd be like selling your soul. So he said he good. And y'all know how I know with the properties that he got and the different things. So he kind of situated with the money. You know what I mean? No rematch. Anderson was good. Yeah, the Butcher was good, homie. Never thought David had skills. He's just big and throws a lot of punches. He has a little skill. Now, shit, Mag 7. He is one of the more underrated and one of the biggest skillful guys in the game. Very smart. A lot of little nuances to his game. Intelligent dude. He continues to add. David Benavidez right now looking like he in shape. Right now, he working. He always working on something. I would say this. I promise you, if you went back and you started like watching as many of his fights as you could find and you start watching and studying that tape, you'll reevaluate David. He's very skillful. Actually very underrated too. He's a smart guy. Set up.
I think he's probably the most underrated boxer in the sport of boxing. Surgical. And I'm saying like I'm talking about like boxer, not fighters, because that's how he's perceived as just like he just come forward and throw punches. But nah, this dude, his intelligence is through the roof. One of the most impressive things I've ever heard in an interview was when he mentioned rewatching his fights and writing down certain combinations and seeing what worked and didn't work. I'm like, damn, this dude is like really doing his homework, like literally rewatching his fights and evaluating the various setups, the punch selection and all this stuff and cataloging it. I'm like, yo, this dude is he's thinking right now, like on a different level. Right. And I can't recall seeing a guy as busy as he is, as economical as he is. And I mean it in the truest sense as far as like not wasting anything. He's not conservative. He's economical. Because he throws a lot, but he's picking those spots when he's throwing his punches. You got your guard up, he's going underneath. Sometimes you got your guard up, he's peeling it down. He's going around your guard. He's going through the guard.
Saying it.
Like, bro.
Right. You're saying it, Jordan.
Sometimes he'll be southpaw. Sometimes he be orthodox. It's like, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I agree 1,000%, Jordan. To be on the front foot and be as defensively sound as he is, and he's amongst the leaders in plus minus, and it's not just because he throws a lot either. Dude is just, yo. And you made another great point, bro. Adding to his game. They said his feet wasn't good. What'd he do? Next thing you know, you seen him working with Guillermo Rigondeaux.
I'm telling you.
He wanted to learn how he could get better with his lead hand. He's over there consulting with Andre Ward, learning how he could get his lead hand better.
Right.
Flossie, shout out to Flossie. He just sent me a video yesterday in preparation for
Zordo. Yeah.
And I noticed off the rip, the guy that was holding the pads, he had him standing in the southpaw stance. There's little details like that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he always working.
Bro.
When you say he can't do something, he goes to apply that in the gym. He don't get salty. He don't cry. He like, okay, take heed. And that is he's an improving fighter. And if you just watch the development through the years,
bro,
you've seen him subtly improve.
Ridiculous.
Fight
it's
to
ridiculous.
fight to fight. I'm telling you.
His commitment to improvement
is crazy too, because he is.
And shout out to my sister, Shawa, because she and I and Flossie, before the Boo Boo fight, man, we were watching David Benavidez until our eyes bled, bro. We were like watching so many of his fights. And the Dennis Douglas fight, like he was straight up and down, like the way that Morrell was describing him as far as like him being like Frankenstein or RoboCop. He was really like that. But then by the time he fought Boo Boo, he's changing levels. He's crouching down. Like, what the hell is he doing? What is he doing? And the Boo Boo fight, it's ridiculous. The Boo Boo fight, like him noticing, like him, the way that Boo Boo was defending against the right hand, he was throwing like a right hook, and Boo Boo was catching it. Then what he do? He changed it through a damn corkscrew right hand, through an overhand, and came over the top. When Boo Boo got caught with that right hand, he had his hand up. That was good defense, but better offense prevailed that time, bro. Like to be able to make those type of mental notes.
Canelo and Benavidez. Like, look, I think Benavidez is bad for the Canelo business, man. If I could be blunt, for my money, if I had to take a guess, you know, there's certain gambles that make business sense, and then there's others that could be, you know, I think a little bit of a detriment. And I really, he ain't passing no torch. This dude said a while ago he could fight for 3 to 5 more years or something like that. Like, he ain't ready for that. So I just think the guy too big. Styles make fights. Canelo can say what he want, but the fact that you won't entertain him says plenty. And I know it ain't about nothing to do with scared. I really think that's a business move. I really, really do. That could really, and look, you would probably still be Canelo, but I still think that should be the same if David Benavidez got in there and did to you what he typically do to guys, man, and beat up on you like that. He ain't got to stop you.
And stylistically, bro, we gotta take a stop right there. Stylistically, Canelo, you in this interview, he talking about he got bad legs. He couldn't move the way he wanted to versus Bud. You got bad legs and you fight out the high guard, and we seen this man David Benavidez be out going out there manipulating people guard, paling their shit. David Morrell got his guard paled 3 times in one exchange, bro.
That was crazy.
And Canelo fights damn near exclusively out the high guard. So you fighting out the high guard and you got bad legs? And this dude got an output like he got 3 lungs.
Yeah, now
he got the height and the reach, and he got the hand speed.
Yeah, bro. Now you about to get in there with 70 plus fights fighting that damn maniac. And credit to Jose Benavidez Sr., because I heard the interview where he was like how his dad used to, like, you know, he was strict, like he put him through it, and he appreciated him for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like his dad is still in that work ethic, and listen, he understands the assignment. He Frankenstein the monster. You know what I mean? That's the only reason I would call him Frankenstein, because he's like created, bro. You built that dude. You built him, and now it's instilled in him, and the work ethic is so crazy. It's like in the blood. You see the son throwing combination punches and shit. I'm just like, bro, this shit crazy, man. It's crazy what that dude has been able to get better. The areas he been able to improve in through the years, man. I'm telling you, because without it, I think in certain fights that he looked much different in and definitely don't win as impressively as what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
It's a workhorse.
Because we see, man, like for example, the first fight that he had with Ronald Gravel, remember he got dropped late in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
The rematch came. What do you do? That man boxed from the damn outside. I said, what the hell? The first fight, he was trying to press Graville and got dropped for his troubles later on in that fight. Then he came out and was like, you know what? I'm going to basically draw the line in the sand and box this man from range. So he could do a little bit of everything. He can fight from the outside, mid-range. He got the hand speed to win the exchanges more often than not. Bro, the look on my man's face, Anthony Yar's face, like he was looking bewildered, like he couldn't believe that the punches were coming that fast at that succession. It was looking crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is.
It was looking crazy.
Right. Oster 40, what it do? Shout out to Deshaun, man. Look, I think anybody could be beat, but I understand what you're saying. I'll say this. He's going to be very, very difficult to beat. And I agree with the point as far as getting in people's head. That's an interesting point you made. He do get in there with guys, and I noticed they be trying to fight him, and he be boxing. They be fighting their ass. They be trying so hard to fight him off, and he be sitting back boxing, picking their asses apart. It's a good observation. That's true. He do that because look what he had. He had Boo Boo fighting in a way that at a pace where he definitely couldn't sustain it, and it looked interesting early. And then you start thinking like, hold on, this shit ain't good. This is not sustainable. The dude slowed down, that body shot, and then the rest was history. I was like,
no, that's definitely a good observation, and especially as it applies to Boo Boo, because I don't know what the hell they was thinking, allowing him to come in at 190, thinking he was going to bully this dude. Like, what the hell?
That was stupid.
Like Boo Boo. I think it might have been. I think it might have been Tim. I think it might have been Tim Bradley who made this analogy. He was like, "Yo, you are a sports car. You are not a towing vehicle. You are not a U-Haul. So you trying to move furniture in a damn Ferrari,
right?
Essentially." Right. Like if you had to move to a new location, you're not gonna put a damn couch on top of a Ferrari. You get a damn U-Haul.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what Boo Boo was trying to be. He was like, bro, you trying to.
It's crazy. It's like they try to put the wrong engine under the hood. I swear it
is.
I swear it's like they did the wrong kind of.
This your second fight at 168. You don't have no business hydrating up to 190. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Right. Like you close to where he operating at, dude. What you doing? That ain't you. You ain't that big.
And
already was some talk that you ain't a 68 pounder, let alone coming in at 190. Blew your gas tank in 3 rounds.
And there was even more talk about Boo Boo, because one thing about Boo Boo, we know Boo Boo got decent pop, right? Because we seen him drop how many guys in the first round, but he could never finish him.
Yeah.
So there's always been questions about his gas tank.
Yeah.
Like Boo Boo could sneak you early and drop you, but he ain't gonna finish you. He ain't got the gas to do it. So if you already got gas tank questions, putting on an extra 22 pounds after the damn weigh-in is not the answer, bro. It's not the move,
a dumb move
at all.
They lost the fight in the gym. They lost the fight.
And your best attribute is your legs, because Boo Boo got phenomenal feet.
Yeah.
The way he turned Walter Kaltengagwa and countered, I can't recall the last time I've seen somebody be behind an opponent. Like Walter threw an overhand. He turned him. He was on the outside, then drilled him with a shot.
Man,
bro, when you got feet like that, you do not need to be compromising your gas tank, because you need to be able to do that for the duration of the fight, bro. So to try to press this man out, and like you said, 3 rounds into the fight, for one, you working extra hard. 2, David Benavidez is gonna go to the body, so you basically burning the candle at both ends, because you getting hit to the body with some firm shit. And you trying to fight him off, and you trying to box and move in spots, it ain't gonna work.
Nah.
And all he got to do is come forward, bro, and just keep pressing. You gonna get worn out. Boo Boo fought the wrong fight.
You seen him. He was worn right out and got wore out because of it. I was like, shit is looking bad. Man, once you like
then
that.
The first right hand that he got hit with on the damn crown of his head, his eyes went cross. I said, damn.
Yeah.
Bro, I threw my hat on the floor.
Once you ain't got no gas tank, you at the mercy of Benavidez, and that's absolutely the worst position or situation to be in the boxing ring with that animal, because he gonna finish you. He got all the mean, he got the energy for it, the creativity.
And the crazy thing with him too, bro, is it ain't even that he just got a crazy gas tank. He's one of those dudes that are well conditioned. And what I mean by well conditioned is I'm not just talking about endurance. I'm talking about the ability to perform even when fatigue sets in. Because we've
Yeah,
seen David look a little bit gassed in fights, like in the Vazdik fight. People
yeah, he
criticize
did.
the gas tank a little bit, but
Yeah,
he was still able to perform while he was tired.
yeah.
The Morrell fight, he looked a little tired around like round 6, round 7, but he was still able to perform.
He can maintain his form, like
Yep.
where it's not at a detriment how most guys is when that fatigue settle in. Because at that point now, hands are all low and they really start making mistakes. With him, you might can see it, but he's able to still, you know, maintain his form, which is really important to avoid allowing rounds and fights to get away from you. You know what I'm saying? In those moments where you're trying to suck up that second win, or you know what I'm saying? So I just like his approach to the game, man, and the fact that he always in the gym working.
1000%. He could
Keeping
still
the
throw
weight down.
punches and he could still keep his defense relatively tight. He's
Right.
not one of them dudes like my guy Sweet Hands. No disrespect to Caleb Plant, but we see every time Caleb Plant, man, first 5 rounds, you cannot touch the
Phenomenal.
man. He be looking like the white Purnell out there the first 5 rounds. Then by round
Telling you.
6, he getting hit with shit that he was evading for the first 5 rounds.
I'm telling you. That shit is crazy, bro. It'd be like, damn, you know that's fatigue. And even Breadman Edwards know that shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. Hit that like button, man. Best feet in boxing, man. That's a good conversation. It's a lot of guys with some good feet, man.
Always comes something from Mexico.
I know guys use it differently.
And I expect in a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, the superstar born from Mexico. And I'm going to help that fighters to do it.
Now, you have a couple of young guys that you're helping groom, you and Eddie and Richard. Who is it that you see from the young cropper, maybe the pros that are Mexican, not Mexican-Americans, that you say to yourself, this guy has it. Maybe this guy could be a star.
Oh, it's too soon to say. It's too soon to say because if you say so, maybe they being self-comfortable and sit down and say, oh, I'm the next, you know? And then they fuck it all. So we need to wait and don't say anything, don't say too much because we need to ruin. We may ruin the fighters. So we need to keep quiet, support them, and it's going to come.
But I remember getting calls about you. I don't think you fought in the United States
different.
yet. Someone said, there's this kid in Mexico you have to watch. I said, who is he? He said, he's got red hair and he looks white. I said, red hair and white? He's like, yeah, they call him Canelo, but he's selling out every place that he fights in Mexico. I said, really? And then they sent me a couple of videos, and I said, why doesn't anyone sign this kid? And then maybe like a year later, you got signed. And then you debuted in the United States. And I was like, from the beginning, I'm sure you heard it yourself. They were like, this guy's going to be a superstar. He's got the look. He could fight. The women are chasing him all over the streets. The fans are chasing him all over the streets. This guy's going to be selling out stadiums one day, and you're selling out stadiums.
Oh, well, I think I'm a little bit different. I think a little bit different in that moment, too, because I really fall in love with boxing. So I don't care what they say, good or bad. I always focus on my goals. No, I make my first $1 million I make when I was 19 years old. So imagine if one little kid with 1 million, 19 years old, they lose their head right now, right? Because everybody wants to be a superstar. Everyone want fame and money before the glory. So they need to focus on the glory. The money and the fame come after. So that's what I mean. When you look or hear the young fighters, they want to be famous and they want to be rich.
Yeah.
They start dressing like they are rich already, posting picture in the social media like they are very famous. No, that's not the way to be a superstar. You need to focus on be a fighter, fight, and be one of the greatest. Because the money, the fame, everything come alone, come together. But if they thinking in that way, they don't gonna do anything. So I think in that moment, what I wanna say is that I never look for money or for fame. I always look, I wanna be one of the greats. When somebody talking about boxing, always come the word Canelo.
Now, do you think part of the reason for your success is you came from a very strong boxing family? Some of your brothers were boxing. So to have all of that around you, everyone's staying disciplined, everyone's doing the same thing. Were you all just kind of supporting each other to succeed?
I'm glad to have a family like that with good family, no drugs, no alcohol, no anything like that. But to be honest, I don't really care if they want to do something in the sport or no. I always focus on what I really want. So maybe they don't be into boxing, but I always, when I knew boxing because of my older brother, I knew right away I want to be one of the greats in this sport. So what I mean is that I don't care if they want to do something or not. I always focus on myself. I never, and this is very important to say too. If you look at my career, I never talk bad about people. I never talk about other people. I never talk bad to other fighter. I never do that because I'm focused on myself. They can do whatever they want. They can everybody deserves to be successful, right? And you don't need to be jealous about it. And you don't need to talk shit about other people. Even if you want to fight with that person, you don't need to talk about that person. If you look back, I never talk about shit about other people. I always focus on myself.
You started so early, before the whole craze of social media. Do you think social media has kind of made fighters a little bit too crazy, that they're focusing more on that than focusing on what they should do in the gym?
Yes, I think so. I think they, like I say, they want to be famous and rich because what they see in social media. Everybody pretends to be rich, but they don't. And the kids saw that in the media, and they want to be like that. So I think social media helps a lot too. But if you do in the correct way.
If you could map out for yourself a perfect 2026, how would you map it out?
Oh, win a world champion.
Is there anyone that you see? Because, I mean, you could fight that. You could just point your finger and fight anybody. Is there anyone that you see that you're like, I like that guy's style. I want to be in the ring with that guy one day.
I want somebody to come and fight, to make a good fight. That's what I want. Making a good fight, and the people love the fight. The people enjoy the fight. That's what I want.
Another fighter who works with His Excellencies, obviously Dmitry Bivol.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a closed chapter for you, or is that something you may still do in the future?
No, why not? We'll see in the future. It makes sense. Why not? I always, like I say, I always like challenge, and why not?
Not fighting no damn.
When people look back at your career, 10 years from now, 100 years from now, maybe with the 100th Ring Magazine Awards, and one day they're showing a video about you, what do you want them to remember most about Canelo Alvarez?
Oh, all the things I accomplished is very hard to do it. So I think they're going to remember me. I'm going to be in the history of boxing, in the books of history of boxing. And being a lot of times fighter of the year, this and that. I think they're going to remember me. And what I want to remember is that you need to take care about you. Need to take care about what you are doing. Because it's not just boxing. Because you see a lot of fighters there, they have in their minds the fighter go like this, and then like this. I'm talking about their business, money, and everything. They win, they make a lot of money, and then they have nothing. So you need to invest your money, be smart, because this is not forever.
Be smart.
Make a lot of money, be smart, investment, and take care about your family.
And you've done that your whole career. You didn't want to be one of those guys saying, I'm coming back out of retirement at 45 years old to go fight some 22-year-old kid.
Yeah, I don't want to see myself like that, to be honest. And I'm taking care of that right now because I don't want to be that guy.
And that's a wrap for the latest episode of the Mr. Versace.
Mr. Versace, man, and Canelo. But you heard he said a lot there. I mean, well, he said a lot, nothing, but he said, he wanted Canelo, the Crawford rematch. Crawford need to run it back, but, say he retired and they need to accept it, and he just trying to fight other world champions. So he sound like he's still, I don't know. He like money, bro. He like money. Even when asked what he's still doing it, I mean, he's saying like every time he fight, he break records. So I guess you ended to try to break more records. I don't know. I don't know how much do he want to still prove to be the greatest, best based on the answer that he gave or what his focus is. But when you got that much money at your disposal every single time you step in the ring, I mean, it's hard for that not to be the motivation for real, for real. T Hill, my dog, was good with it, famo. How you feeling, bro? So I got something else I wanted to get to with boxing scene with Paulie and them, and I think we'll finish.
I had one discrepancy with Canelo, man, in regards to the whole Bud conversation, which was saying if Bud really wants to get the credit, he would give him the rematch. That's like saying, like, if he really wanted the credit for beating Austin Trout or beating Landy Lara, he should have ran it back with them. Like, hell no, bro. It don't work that way. You lost, you made a lot of money, move on.
That's why I say it's a part of me that feel like, yeah, of course he's going to tell you, like, look, he just got asked about Bivol again. And he can't just be straight up and say, man, I'm less than likely to fight that dude again. The more time that passes, the less likely you're going to fight him. Unless he fell off a cliff or something like that. Well, that's not going to happen. I don't think Bivol is going to be worse for wear for him to feel confident enough to jump back in there. Like, shit going to have to change, bro. You know what I mean? You gonna get in there with that guy. Then what he said, just waking up from a nizat. I already know, T-Hell. You're always up, man. Shout out to Big Dog Willie putting some color in the chat, man. My dog. Appreciate the love, man. He said, Haney, Colt, and Tank Maniacs fight each other tough and try to put core fans in the middle, right? This is their war, so we should ignore them. Y'all agree? Oh, yeah, we ignoring it. We just because we like all boxing, right, Big Dog? We support them all. So when they get into those little petty spats and the back and forth, we just sit back and allow the guys that we rock with to do what they do. You know what I mean? Saturday, a lot was done. A lot of narratives fell by the wayside, and we're going to sit back and wait for the next fight so more narratives could die, man. Yeah, we're going to sit back and let them war it out. I'm sitting this one out, Coach. I got 5 on it. Dog Willie, my guy, appreciate the love, homie. But for sure, we letting them fight it out. But this is a good conversation by these guys. They also do good work, have good conversations. Paulie, he's a guy that never bites his tongue. He always going full throttle. Rich, what it do, man? What's good, bro?
But now, outside of the ring, a lot of news that needs to be broken apart by the insiders who know all about it. I'm sitting at the desk with them, Jimmy Smith, alongside the champs, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri. What we are speaking of is a $340 million lawsuit. Floyd Mayweather.
Pardon me, y'all. This is the conversation that starts this all. My apologies. That's something that one of the hot topics. I really didn't want to put it like in the thumbnail title because, I don't be caring, but this is something that they was covering. They was talking about this lawsuit briefly, which is crazy to see, man. It's crazy to hear this stuff that he possibly coming back to really compete. And, you're hearing financial troubles, this and that. But who was it? Keith Thurman said, man, them rich people problems, man. Shout out to Rich, man. What's good? Safe travels on the road, family. But let's see what these guys had to say. This is a good, nice little episode that I thought we react.
Showtime Sports and Steven Espinoza. Now, he names Al Heyman as some kind of co-conspirator. There's an idea that there might be a lawsuit later that's specifically for Al Heyman. But right now, we're dealing with $340 million that Floyd claims was taken from him by Showtime and Steven Espinoza. Gentlemen, a couple of things. If you look at the article on Boxing Scene, something doesn't smell right about it. A couple of things that don't smell right is it's 10 years after the fact. There are an army of attorneys, lawyers, accountants making sure boxers get paid at Floyd's level. And the idea that Floyd could be in a position where he's starting to run out of money and is looking for a reason that this money isn't his anymore. Paulie, what the first thing that jumps out at you about this amount, about the timing, about everything about this lawsuit, what jumps to your mind first, Paulie, when you think about it, as a boxer on the inside?
What jumps to my mind first is probably the beginning is the 10 years later. Yeah, same. I'm very curious about, I don't want to say the veracity, because obviously that's the strong word to use in this situation, because this may or may not have substance. But
if this were $3 million, we go, okay, that can fall through the cracks.
Yeah,
go,
but
$340 million.
$340 million, but also $340 million, and you're figuring it out 10 years later. That's a long time to figure it out. That's a long time to be figuring something like that out. If this is what happened, you know, it's hard to know for sure until you're in the situation, in that position. When I was at the end of my boxing career, I was signed to PBC, and the rumor was that Al took no money from Floyd. He used to use Floyd as sort of the jewel of the stable to attract other fighters. Now, at the time, I thought that was true. Fighters were being paid very well by Al Heyman and PBC. If you were signed to be Al Heyman, you were making multiple times the amount of money you would have if you weren't, which is why for a long time I was trying to get with Al in my prime. I couldn't get there. I managed to get with Al later at the very, very end, where I was pretty much used as an opponent but got paid well. But I noticed the difference in pay scale, and everybody was seeing how much Floyd was making, right? And Floyd himself was flaunting himself like he was the guy who was making that kind of money. Yeah. And for all intents and purposes, I assume he was. Everybody assumed he was, and it seemed like he thought he was, because he wasn't complaining. He was showing off, This is why, as I get older, I feel like, and everybody always tells you this when you're young, like, keep your finances private, and this is why I think this is a big reason why. First and foremost, you notice that if you don't keep your finances private, everybody and their mothers ask you for money constantly. And they don't ask you for...
That happens either way.
And they don't ask you... Well, people assume you have money, but if you flaunt it, you definitely... They confirm you have money. And they don't ask you for money like you need to buy the Rolex or the Lamborghini. They'll guilt you into it. They need their mother's dying in the hospital. They need to pay for a funeral. Their kid is sick. Like, they guilt you into it, and you almost feel bad not giving it, And little by little it goes. Or the other side of it is people just have the horns come out, and they start thinking, how can I move that money and shift it over here? Like ideas, Ponzi schemes, and which I think Floyd has also fallen for. Either way, the last thing you really need in your life is for things to go wrong, and you were showing off how you were a big shot financially when you didn't have to, really. You didn't have to do that. And now you have this egg on your face, and things are falling apart. And now people are wondering, did you get screwed, or was it your own financial ignorance, and now you're bitter? I don't know, honestly, but offhand, you're asking me what my thoughts are offhand. I can never listen. When I had a lot of money, I was a lot of times spending more, and I wasn't tracking every single cent, right? I was kind of reckless. I was young. I was, a pro athlete. I went from having nothing to having a bunch of money. So yeah, I'm not always tracking it as well as I should. But bro, if I'm missing a lot of difference money, if there's a huge difference, I'm gonna track it automatically just because it's so obvious. $340 million, no matter how much money you're making, $340 million does not slip through the cracks, like you said.
Third of $1 billion.
It's not, I don't know. Like, there's guys who have a lot of money, okay? For me, I could go into a jewelry store, spend 20,000 at the time, like nothing. Like, you know what? I didn't plan on going there. I bought a Ferrari. I went with my friend to go check out a Ferrari he was gonna buy. I went there and I'm like, I got this in my account. I could buy this right now. You know, like that. You know, and I'm not saying that's smart. What I'm saying is,
your accountant must have loved you.
yeah, really. But what I'm saying is, I got good money for that when I sold it. I gotta be honest.
I'm listening.
The used car market came back at the time. But anyway, what I'm saying is, it could go like that, okay? That kind of money. But bro, $340 million.
I always say, man, when somebody after a while of somebody doing what it is that they're doing, being successful to the point where it's proven and well documented that they got money. After a while, when a person's still selling me a lifestyle, I always take it with a grain of salt, right? I don't need you to oversell me the lifestyle. I don't need you to show me all these cars. I don't need to see these bags. I don't need to see that stuff. Like, I just don't need it for me, right? To know, I don't need to know all your finances and things like that. Like, I just, I don't need to know that stuff. So I always hated that when it seemed like guys are selling you the lifestyle. It's like something ain't right with the picture. And then when I start seeing these random ass posts where you basically promoting these big ass bags, turning the comments off, all this weird stuff, hear his name start being connected to all these different things where it's like money this, money that. And it's like rich people problems, like Keith Thurman said. But let's keep going, man.
That's not Ferrari, but that's a lot of Ferraris, a lot of houses.
But Floyd had a lot of Ferraris. And that's the thing about Floyd. Like, yes, is that way too much money? Yes, that's a crazy amount.
$340 million?
Right, but also it tells you the scope. Because Floyd
10 years later?
Floyd did make a lot of money. That's a whole different thing. Floyd did make a lot of money. We got to think like, yes, 340 is way too big of an amount to just slip through the cracks, like you said. But also, we're talking about a bigger scope. Floyd is on a completely different level in terms of the kind of money that he made. So,
but to lose track.
But just like you said, though, in the beginning. Yeah.
That's more than one fight. You lost track of an entire fight, Prince. More than one fight. Multiple fight.
At the height of your career.
$340 million. There's nights where you didn't make that much money in a night.
But we heard about stuff like this with Mike Tyson back in the day. Yeah. Big money losses, people taking advantage of him. A number of different things. Now, all that being said and done, 10 years is the point. That is the major point of all of this. Because when you look about this now, 10 years, where does this come from? It makes me think that someone's gotten in his ear. And maybe, where does this come from out of nowhere? Is he going through the books now, 10 years later? No, of course not. Someone else is. Someone else is probably telling him, hey, man, this is like this, this is like that. So you
think it did happen?
I don't know. I think someone, regardless of whether it happened or it didn't, that's
what I'm wondering.
Unless it's coming out of nowhere, unless he literally is just getting just
he's losing his mind because there's a lot of rumors about him losing money, right?
Losing money, being I don't want to say destitute, but the old saying, how the mighty have fallen. You used to be up here, now you're here. You start to realize that we all have that. We all go through that kind of thing where it's like, oh, I used to be this, now I'm this. So maybe that wears on his mind. Then he starts getting into the conspiracies. Oh, this guy did this guy did that. Maybe. Or you got someone who's trying to take advantage of the situation, has someone who could be susceptible to planting some seeds. Like, Floyd looks like he's struggling a little bit. Let's see if we can, turn the knife a little bit. A lot of times, like Mike Tyson was, a lot of people around Mike Tyson took advantage of him. Because you're someone like Floyd, and you're able to generate that.
The thing is, man, you live a lifestyle. They've always said it, but we don't know exactly what he is spending. It's easy to just assume it, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know. I mean, you always see people getting taken advantage of, man. You just never know the full story. So, yeah, it's easy to say, oh, well, Floyd was living beyond his means, but you just don't know. I wasn't there spending no money, so I don't know. I just hate to hear these situations, and we've been hearing this shit for a while. I just hope that it fades into the back somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, they don't care. They shower. They do not care. Right. And the reason why he might be coming back, how much money he lost, like, and dealing with politics and all that shit is out there too. But they don't care as much, right? When it's Money May, that shit hit different, man. It's crazy. But speaking facts, it's true.
Kind of wealth. A lot of people, like you said, when you are making money, people are like, oh, how do I extract what I can from them without them knowing it, without them realizing, or How do I team up with them and go try and extract money from somewhere else? Floyd is still going to be a conduit to make a ton of money for people. The lawyers who are going to be involved are all going to get paid. Maybe whoever planted the seed in his head is going to get paid. So there's a lot of factors that go around when you're this kind of
and if they don't get paid, it's only Floyd spending the money on the lawsuits and everything else. If they don't get paid, like there's people putting ideas in Floyd's head, but only Floyd has to fund the lawsuit. So it's win-win for them.
The lawyers always win. He's the conduit to make the money, and just like Mike Tyson was. When you have that kind of athlete, also you're in the public eye. The lawyers are never in the public eye. The guys behind the scenes who are taking that money from you are never in the public eye. It is the athlete themselves, and that's why we take the brunt of it. So it could be a situation where someone is trying to take advantage of Floyd because of a current situation that he's in, which we're really not going to know.
Are we seeing, in a sense, and Chris, you and I were talking about it off camera beforehand, boxing, as you say, greatest sport in the world, worst business in the world. Right, it's what you're always saying. This idea that in any other sport, if an NFL player were doing this, it would be absurd. The NFL doesn't work this way. There's a manager can't take a third of what you make and you don't know. Like, no other sport works this way. This idea that because of this lawsuit, and if it goes all the way through, we're going to find out the discovery and things like that. The idea that once you look under the hood, there's a lot going on in boxing that makes this, we might be skeptical, but it's also certainly possible because of the nature of the business. Chris, is that part of it that we're going to see should this go a little further?
Boxing is the wild, wild west, Jimmy. And that's why we see such a cast of characters come into our sport. And I always say this about, a guy can throw a towel over his shoulder and he's a trainer. If you have a big bag of money, you can come in and be a promoter. We've seen it time and time again. I'm a boxing fan. I got some funds. I'm gonna step into the game. You can do that. And it's one of the reasons why all the promoters are lawyers, because they can read the contracts. They know how to work around. Even the original Muhammad Ali Act was helped constructed by boxing promoters who are also lawyers, because there's ways to move around everything. And that's why when you're dealing with fighters who are young, don't know how to read law. There's ways to get around and manipulate and coerce at times. And even though we like to think that there's ways to protect the fighters, there's really not. This isn't the NFL, like you said. And boxing's barrier to entry is so low. Really, anybody can go in there and take advantage of these situations. And oftentimes, the fighters are the ones that get hurt.
Paulie, Floyd has a middle school education.
You probably don't like Floyd. As far as not caring for his lifestyle, it's not for me to care about. It was his money, right? He spent it the way he wanted to. He lived the lifestyle. I ain't gonna lie. If most of us could live the way Floyd lived, we would do the shit too. Not everybody, but a lot of us will. You know what I'm saying? And as far as avoiding Paul Williams, Sergio Martinez, none of that's true. Joshua Clottey, none of that's true. Paul Williams, that shit got said so much. Paul Williams had to come out and speak on that, and he said it never happened. He said Floyd never avoided him. So, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? But you probably just don't like Floyd. It is what it is. Let's keep building. We still got about 7
He dropped out early in
building.
high school to pursue boxing. Obviously, 50 Cent making accusations that he's illiterate, can't read and write. Like, I wouldn't go that far. But my point is, this is a man with a ton of money, a ton of power, but very little, to Chris's point, education. Almost
Mike Tyson,
none.
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson.
But even formal education, they don't really teach you a lot about financial literacy and education. They don't want you to be financially literate in the education
Can't read a contract.
system. They don't want to take advantage of the people in general. That's just in general. Financial literacy is a very difficult place to get educated about unless you come from a family that's financially literate, or your hands-on experiences teach you, or sometimes
you have
gotta,
someone trustworthy,
or you get burned. Listen, I want to make one point clear here.
Please.
Floyd can probably liquidate a lot of stuff and not be poor. And for everybody out there that's thinking like, oh, he's poor, he's probably richer than you. Still, okay? So
all of us put together.
Floyd poor and everybody else poor is a different poor.
Right.
Okay, so I
Shit, pardon me, my bad. Yeah, I didn't realize I was muted. Look, we just enjoying the video. I'm not interested in trying to argue who's better. Like, people be weird. Like, who said anything about Bernard, Andre Ward, Leonard, Hitman? Nobody's talking about none of them. We don't care if you don't like them. You don't like them? I don't speak about people I don't like. Ryan, what's good with it, Brody? How you feeling? Like, you be real with yourself. You starting your own little weird ass argument in the comments. And I don't give a damn who you think Floyd is not better than, bro. I swear I don't care. I don't. This channel was about building boxing up. So You'll be able to get my attention, but it's not gonna be the energy you want. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be the energy you want. You get what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me do this, y'all. Once you said that, D Ryan, yeah, man, pack you the fuck up. Pack you the fuck up. Get your weird ass on. Get your weird ass on. Go create another account and be weird somewhere else. Weird ass dude. Let's get back to this, dumbasses.
Everybody's got the big mouths as soon as somebody starts to have to make financial moves. Like, oh, I knew it. You know what, bro? He's probably worth 100 times more than what you're worth still. So I want to make sure I put that aside, okay? Because he can liquidate a few of his watches and still be worth more than most people watching.
He ain't starving to death.
Yeah, and worth more than me and a lot of people.
Yeah,
so
I seen that little ignorant ass goofy dude. He's trying to get my attention. He came in just saying a bunch of dumbass shit. I'm learning to ignore people more, like especially these non-supporters that just come to be a distraction and hate on boxing. You talking about you don't care for somebody's lifestyle. Bro, you shut the fuck up, man. Shut up. You sound like a female. Shut up. You're not supposed to care. Like, he's not better than this one, bro. He better than everybody in your family. Everybody. Got more money than him too. Shut up. Talking about somebody's lifestyle. We are piling it on. We ain't doing that. This ain't the channel to try to unload all the shit you hate about boxing. You probably in the wrong spot. Your ass lost. That's the last time he'd be in here. Pack him up. I can't stand it.
That's not the point of the show. The point of the show is the movements and the maneuvering.
Don't call
was it his mistakes? Was he taken advantage of? Was it a little bit of both?
The point of the show is how did we get here?
Yeah. How do we get here and what's going on?
And what's really going on?
Because as things open up a little bit more, there's a lot of questions that have to be answered, you know? Because if this is all correct and everything was fine and Floyd is accusing everybody, so is everybody now going to sue Floyd for defamation? Because this is a big, very defamatory if this is untrue. If this is true.
I've seen dude around, man, but sometimes it's only so much ignorance I could take. I'd be like, bro, y'all just stop typing, man. Stop trying to get my attention with ignorance, man. Being negative. That's what's wrong. Most of the people that watch boxing are I ain't even gonna, you know what, I'm gonna say that for another day. We're gonna keep going.
However, bro, if this is true, bro, you got a massive situation here because not only is it Espinosa and Heyman, it's also Paramount. It's just your Showtime. It's Paramount, which is still in boxing, has entered through the back door through Zuffa now. It's that Paramount company that owned Showtime before. So if this is true, this is the reverberations are massive. Plus, Floyd is a huge name in the game. If it's not true, the counter tidal wave comes back because, you know, these are spiteful attorneys type of people, and then they don't want to be defamed.
They're not going to take it lightly.
And they're not going to take it lightly, you know. And so I'm curious because, again, I saw it from my perspective, and it seemed like everything was fine in the time that I was involved. It seemed like everything was normal in the time that I was involved. And even Floyd would have had you thinking it was normal in the time I was involved. Because like I said, one thing I've learned here, and Floyd should have probably known it at that point in his life already because he was not a young kid. Don't have to flaunt everything. Because when you start flaunting everything and it doesn't go well, you got a big egg on your face. So whether he was taken advantage of or whether he was not taken advantage of, either way, there's a problem now.
But with the flaunt thing, because I'm gonna push against that too. Because you got Pacquiao. Pacquiao didn't flaunt, but it's legendary how he spent money.
Yeah,
or being around
different kind of problem. Yeah,
different. Yeah, again, a different kind of thing. So it doesn't necessarily.
I hate when they like, all right, man, I get it, but man, yo, if y'all had that kind of money, y'all asses to be flaunting it too. You heard Paulie, when I had a lot of money, I was doing this and that with it, and you wasn't nowhere near the level of Floyd. I'm so tired of people like they judgmental asses. Everybody's the weird ass dude that are just blocked. Like, where do y'all get off sitting up just criticizing it? Sitting there with your noses and shit turned up at somebody else's shortcomings, mistakes, or whatever it is. Yo, human beings have a lot of nerve these days, bro. They really have a lot of the audacity in some of these individuals, bro. Sit there with your nose. Hey, I don't care for his lifestyle. He spent all his money. He's an idiot. How How do you know what the fuck he did with his money? You ain't seen Floyd spend a fucking dollar, but you'll type in all caps about how dumb he is and how he messed up all his money. You don't know that, but people will say it like they know it to be fact. I'm sick of y'all, bro. Boxing got the worst support system in all of fucking sports, yo. I mean it. We got the most ridiculousness going around. All day, it's just like a bunch of like misinformation, like rhetoric, slander, like over analyzing people' personal situations, worried about who's dating who. Like, you weird ass dudes, talk some boxing for once. Little, like, man, go get you some business. Go get you a girlfriend or something. Go do something, bro. Go out or something. Go have some fun. Y'all dudes, man. While the unhappy people watch boxing, they come here and be mad at how, you know, this one is easy. He's so soft and he's soft and this one's a fraud and you know, and I hate this one. And then shut up, man. Don't watch this shit. Don't watch boxing if you hate it that bad. Man, shout out to Bobby. Man, these people be crazy. So
shout out to Chris Algieri, man, for being measured with his tape. Because what he said was extremely reasonable about how some of Floyd's money could have been getting siphoned without his knowledge.
Right.
Hell, you know, Mike Tyson was getting charged for towels, bro.
Exactly, bro.
Like,
and
for
you got
towels.
What was it? The hitman? Didn't his people just try to get him for his house? Like, I meant to cover that up here, but it got lost. It was so much.
Yeah, Thomas Hearns, he had a situation when people take it from him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had a couple clips and I was going to talk about it. I'm like, yo, y'all act like people don't get taken advantage of. You see it all the time. You see people make jokes about them not being able to read. If you think there's any truth to that, you don't think a guy like that could be taken advantage of? Come on, man. Yeah, it's easy to sit here and talk about, man, it's his lifestyle, yo. It's just like, shut up, man. I'm sick of y'all. I'm tired. Y'all acting, the people that say it, they act like you're physically with them, watching them spend the money and living life. Do y'all know Instagram is a very small percentage of life? Like, it takes seconds to upload shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that shit is manipulation. That shit is smoke and mirrors. Everything is not what it seems. But people be talking like, yo, yeah, I seen Floyd blowing all his money. He's an idiot. No, you an idiot. That man got rich people problems, bro. I bet, I guarantee you, our broke and his broke is totally different things. Financial issues for Floyd and financial issues for us is fucking worlds apart. Let's stop acting crazy. I don't care how many problems they've been saying Floyd been broke. I don't know how long. At this point, I lost track. That's not even my concern. I hate to hear it. I'll cover it. We'll talk about it. And mainly, it'll be the focal point for me is not to figure out if Floyd is broke. It's just like, this is not something that you expected to hear. A lawsuit, especially after this long. Showtime, Espinoza, it seemed like they had a really solid relationship. And it just goes to show you that everything is not what it seemed in boxing. This is why when you have a strong team, man, how many times did Floyd say he got the best team in boxing and all this shit? And for this to be the case, not if somebody got you for $340 million, bro, if it was any validity to the amount of money that you're suing for, or whatever the case, if somebody, like, you get me, it's you the last thing you had was the best team in boxing if somebody got you for that amount of cash. But people are like, reduce it all about, well, it's Floyd. Yeah, well, he's still, $1.5 million watches. Shut the hell up. Y'all would probably do it too if you was getting that kind of money. Shut up. Don't tell me you won't. It's yours. Spend that shit. Do what you want. But I just don't like to hear somebody that was able to, garner so much money and bring so much money to the sport, not have it when it's all said and done. So I hate it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I hate to see it, but we'll see. We don't know what it is, man. But the bigger story for me was like the Showtime and the Espinoza thing. Like, damn, you thought everything was pretty solid between them all, and you even heard them speculate it might be a lawsuit for Al Heyman down the line, and that it will really be icing on the cake. I think that is crazy.
Rick Glazer is somewhere.
You know what I'm saying? Somewhere smiling, right?
Eating M&Ms and ice cream, enjoying himself.
Looking like Mermaid Man and shit somewhere, man. So you could lie, so you wouldn't, but you would. Yo, Tego, man, people gonna spend that money because, like, we've all got something that you couldn't afford. And just because you had the money for it don't mean you could afford it. Don't tell me you haven't. Whether you was young, old, small purchase, big purchase, you've all done something. We've all done something with money that was somewhat irresponsible. So imagine if you had more. Like, don't tell me you can't be. Anything can happen, man. It's life, man. At the end of the day, if he went out doing that shit the way he wanted to do it, shit, a part of him should be able to, make peace with that and live with it. Let's keep going, man.
Yeah, the bigger issue is definitely that promotional thing, man, because if it can happen to a guy at that level of that stature, we got to think about how many guys are really being taken advantage of.
Facts.
That don't have the agency, or they don't even have the means to even speak up, or they don't even have the means to have a damn lawsuit.
Right.
Because that will completely deplete their funds. It takes money to go to court, bro.
Yes,
everybody can't be suing and shit.
Yes, it do.
So if it can happen to Floyd, it can happen to anybody. It can happen to who was that was just on the screen? Manuel Gallegos. It can happen to his ass.
Yeah.
If it can happen to Floyd, it can happen to Nadia Lopez.
We'll sit here and we'll make it seem like the only way he could have financial issues is it got to be him just blowing it all. And we say that shit with so much conviction, like for a fact what he's purchasing. I don't care what they show you on social media. Do y'all really believe that shit? When somebody is selling you a lifestyle, they already selling you some shit. Think about it. They selling you,
and let's just say this though. Let's just say this though, KB. Let's say hypothetically he did blow his money, the money that was afforded to him. Now, if the foundings of this lawsuit are true, that he's owed $340 million, it don't matter how he spent his fucking money. Money owed to him is money owed to him, based on contract. So regardless of how he spent his money, if they breach the contract, they breach the contract, and they need to pay that man and let him blow that money again.
Make a great point.
Let him blow that money again. Shit, if they owe him $340, they owe him $340. It don't matter how he spent the money that he got. They still owe him the $340. Give him his $340.
And the fact that people would rather not focus on that being a potential possibility, it just got to be, oh, well, he's only doing it because he's broke. He been messing up. I'm so tired of that. Like, we have no, and when I say we, because I ain't too good to, I'm not perfect. So I say we, but in this boxing space, bro, we have very little concern for the ridiculousness that we type and put into this space. And if we rid it, we became a lot more responsible with the things that we put out from a content point to even having an opinion. It's a such thing as having a responsible opinion. People are ignorant idiots, man. And they run around spewing all this hatred, rhetoric, chat to chat. Before you know it, you got a hellstorm of people speaking some shit that they know nothing about. I'm tired of people talking like they know this man's bank account. They be with him they know what his financial situation is, what he's spending money on, what he not. You have no idea. I'm tired of people talking about his lifestyle that you really don't know nothing about. You see that shit for a couple of minutes in a damn Instagram post and you think you know what's going on. People get on my absolute nerve, man. Absolute nerve, man. Build the sport up. I'm forever fighting this fight until I can't talk no more boxing. This is gonna be what I'm on permanently, bro. Build this shit up. Telling you, man, it's going.
We don't be having no empathy out here, KB. We just be thinking because these guys they get broadcasted, they on TV, they on this publication, that publication, and we assume that they got all this money in the world. That like who the hell could feel sorry for them? Oh, they rich, they'll get over it. Nah, these are still people.
Right, and people get taken advantage of. People get, shit get done to folks all the time, man. It's just don't think that it can't happen, man. I've seen some wild stuff happen to people when it's money on the line. Oh my God, man! With the side that people will show you, man, it's just it's unbelievable, bro. It's like next level with a person to show you. You get what I'm saying? When it's money on the line, it's crazy. But look. My thing is this. Floyd, people be talking like him spending his money bothers them. And that's where I think the hate comes from, because you wish you could be living that lifestyle, man. I know people personally that have some bogus shit to say, and I know the mistakes that people made, and it's like, damn, you got the audacity to talk about what Floyd doing? Like, bro, make it make sense. We too judgmental.
It's always gonna be that way though.
Spend your bread.
There's gonna be people. There's gonna be people that feel away about people spending their money. There's gonna be people who feel away about somebody feeling good about themselves. Oh, you need to be humbled. What the fuck I need to be humbled for? If I'm confident, if I got high self-esteem, I got high self-esteem. Why do I need to be humbled for you?
Hey man, that's all facts, and that's the part. 2 cents. That's the part, my guy, that they don't talk about. Oh, all of it is just his own doing. It's just him splurging, and so you don't think he take care of nobody, huh? So you don't think nobody is benefiting off the fact that he one of the richest or the richest boxer in the game, made the most. Like, come on, man, think about that. So I try not to speak too heavily on shit I don't know, right? I have an opinion on things, but I try to be tasteful about it, man. Y'all be talking like you know what he's spending and what he not, who he helping and who he not helping, if he's selfish, if he not selfish, like what he should do with his money, what he shouldn't be doing, man. Bro, shut up, man. Shut up, man. Like, live life. You only get one of them, man. And Floyd. And if somebody owe you 340 M's, get that shit back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, go ahead and fight for your money. But
then go buy another watch right after you get that 340.
Right, another watch. Big John on them, too. I don't know what the big watch, what the popular joint is, but go get one anyway, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I like to see it, though. Don't get me wrong. I just don't oversell me a lifestyle because that comes off as a little bit annoying. And it's something that's like, it's not authentic about it to me that I don't like. But I like to see people take their pictures there on the beach somewhere, feet out, sand between their toes, they chilling. Or somebody, I like to see Devin Haney hit the jewelry store. He snapping watches and chains on his shit. I have no negative thoughts when I see this stuff because they're young. They're in their 20s, bro. We wish we could be in that position to do these things and live like that in the 20s.
And a lot of these people's circumstances too, man. Like
Floyd
grew up in a nasty ass place like Grand Rapids. Then where was he after that? He was out there like in like New Brunswick or something like that. Like, bro, to be in a place where you can fly whenever the hell you want to, eat wherever you want to, wear whatever you want to wear, drive whatever you want to drive. Like, that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
And it should be taken advantage of because anything can happen. We just saw my man Anthony Joshua in a damn near fatal car accident after racking up 50 M's or whatever the hell it was. It happened that quick. All he had to do was be on the opposite side of the car that he was in. The man that was next to him on the other side was gone just like that. So if you got it, you have the means, spend it at your own discretion. If you want to be frugal, if you want to save, then do that too.
Right.
But
it's like
you can't take the shit with you. So
we treat it like everybody is, financially responsible or like spending your money how you want is a crime. It's not a crime. It's really not. It's crazy. Like, people will criticize you, but there'll be some of the same people helping you spend the money till you ain't got it no more, man. So look, overall, I just want to say this, and we're going to play the rest of this video. So it's about midway through. Man, Floyd, do what's best for you, man. I would hate to hear that you going through financial struggles. Rich problems or not, I like to see people winning in life. That's just how I'm set up. That's how my brain works. When I see somebody shining, living life, traveling, taking care of their families and kids and doing what they want to do, I love to see it, especially in the sport where people, they give everything to the sport to get, shitted on by the people that's supposed to be rocking with them. So look, man, do your thing, Floyd. And then, like I said, if somebody owe you some money, get that money on, man. But overall, to hear that he's suing Showtime at Espinoza is a bit eyebrow raising. Like, damn, where'd that come from? That is what it is.
Always mad because he's another guy who's had problems in the past where you're like,
when I worked the Adrian Broner fight with Pacquiao on Showtime, I was in the fighter meetings, bro. He was talking about how he just bought a cruise ship. A cruise ship, not a yacht, a freaking cruise ship. All right. Yeah. The guy bought a cruise ship.
We've all heard.
More people buy. Guys like us buy fishing boats. Maybe if you're a big shot, you buy a yacht. This guy bought a cruise ship. But right, bro.
But your friends who would have done that, they would have posted on Instagram. Not Manny.
Yeah.
Manny did it for his friends and family.
Touche.
So that's really the difference between the two. Because Manny, listen, I was around Manny during our.
Man, Reef, I got a similar situation, bro. If I told you how it happened, you'd be like, damn, Floyd Mayweather is not going to win his lawsuit. Down that new management, young fighters, get your money up front, no credit. Darryl was good with it, fam. Yeah, just The lawsuits
our
is tricky.
fight lead up, and I saw it. I saw it firsthand. Never really heard about it. Oh, when we fought Macau, he bought like a jetliner to ship people over, like bought tickets, everything.
You understand the amount of people you got to employ?
Yeah.
The cruise ship doesn't just. Parking a yacht costs a lot of money. Insuring a yacht costs a lot of money. You understand? Where do you park that thing? Where do you park that? And all the people you have to employ to work in it, because it's not going to maintain itself. You got to employ an entire village of people on the cruise ship.
At that point, you might as well own the island that employs the entire boat.
Right. Which you might. Island, and then you have other problems.
Which you might.
It's this idea that everything kind of rolls downhill. And to your point, Chris, Steven Espinosa was De La Hoya's attorney. That's how he got into the business, all this stuff. This is not a guy who's not going to fire back with his own legal weaponry. It would be stupid not to. As to Paulie's point, he's not going to allow himself to be defamed and not fire back. This idea that if you aim for somebody like that, you can't miss. You can't walk out there and you have no ammunition. Because what's going to happen is, to Paulie's point, they're going to fire back.
Well, I'm going to tell you again, because some of this it's close to home, because I dealt with these people, I work with these people, both from a positive standpoint and a negative standpoint.
From a fighter and a commentator and just a business in general.
Business in general, and there were pros and cons to all of it. Obviously people know the con story, but there was a lot of pros too. And like I said, which is why for me some of it is first surprising, because everything seemed normal when I was directly on that side of it. But I will say these people are lawyers, and they know how to maneuver, okay? I remember when I had the situation back and forth with Showtime. Showtime put a gag order on me in order to be paid the rest of my contract. Otherwise, I was not going to be paid the rest of my contract. And I had a gag order for about 6 months. So they were basically, quote-unquote, defaming me. Espinosa was giving us interviews basically saying, no, it wasn't because Paulie did this. It was actually because Paulie did that, when it wasn't true. But I couldn't respond for 6 months. And by the time 6 months came around, nobody cared. So it was like, it was no need to respond, right? But what I'm saying is that the way they maneuver is very lawyer-esque. They know how to protect themselves and also maneuver the pieces accordingly. So, and that's not to say Espinosa's guilty or not. That's just to say that in reality, you have to take everything with a grain of salt until everything is done. Not just you get a little piece here from Floyd, you get a little piece here from Steven, you get a little piece here from Heyman. You got to wait to make a real decision on this. You got to let all the evidence come out, because it comes out a little bit at a time, and everybody moves their pieces accordingly. So in my situation, I just want to finish real quick, champ. The deal was I couldn't talk, and then Espinosa was giving interviews, giving his side of the version of the story, which wasn't true, but I had the emails to prove that it wasn't true. The emails were, Paulie, you're going to apologize or you're gone, essentially. Then, in the interviews afterwards, he said, no, it wasn't because what he said there and he didn't apologize. It was because of this thing 10 years ago and this thing, and it just built up and we couldn't do it. I still have the emails to this day. I never released them. I still have them to this day, my email chain.
80 people in here.
They go into nothing except the apology or not apology. That's all they speak about. And then when the dismissal happened, it did not happen over email. The chain goes, and then it's empty, because he calls me, because he knows he cannot put it in an email that the release is going to happen based on this situation here, because he knows that this situation here, I would have a countersuit of freedom of speech and all this other stuff. So lawyers, they protect themselves. And what does he do? He does it over the phone. And it was actually friendly, amicable, until he started talking afterwards. It was actually, in the moment, it was actually amicable. Hey, no problem, we disagree. And then a couple days later, the shots were fired towards me that cut out my legs to be prevented from being hired by the networks. But, again, what I'm saying is, they will protect themselves and play lawyer. And so you'll get a little piece from Floyd, you'll get a little piece from the opposition, you get a little piece from Floyd, you get a little piece from the opposition. I will warn people, don't jump to conclusions right away based on what you hear on one side, or based on then what you hear from the other side. Let everything come out first, because that's how these things tend to play out. You'll get a little snippet here, you'll get a little snippet there, and it's easy to jump to conclusions right away when you get the little snippet. Oh, it's this, and then it's that. No, let it all come out, and let's see what happens. Jimmy, I'm very curious myself.
Jimmy, this is Paulie being optimistic 2 days in a row. There's no shot. Wow. There's no shot we're hearing this whole story, dude. Come on. Then I
will say this: it's very difficult to make a total judgment then, from the outside.
Well, it's not.
You can't really do it.
It's not up to us to make a judgment. That's not what we're here for.
We're delivering the news.
I'm concerned for Floyd's side in terms of how they're going to go about this, because like you said, if the veracity of this thing, if this is not real, they're going to come down on him hard. As
we all would.
Yes. Eye for an eye. This is eye for your everything you got.
Yeah.
They're not gonna come back and just let this thing slide. That's not how these kinds of organizations operate, because this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. I hope that, like I said before, wasn't what's happening, is that someone's in Floyd's ear and kind of pushing this way, because he can be getting him in a lot of trouble. And again, it's always the fighter is going to one who's going to go on the chopping block when you have other people around you who are trying to coerce you into doing certain things. But to your point, listen, there's always a paper trail. That's what you're alluding to, essentially. And if you have an issue here, well, they're going to go back to over here, and they got everything lined up. They're not stupid. There's gonna be a paper trail for all of this. The books will be ready. They'll open this all up. I don't know how far this thing gets, because I know you know about this too. A lot of these big head-to-head fights, they all end in negotiations, and they all figure things out. Yeah,
everybody gets a gag order.
Yeah. That's generally how these things get situated. And there's a little payout here, there's a little bit there, and you even see that with some big cases. Like they sue for $200 million, settled out of court for $3 million, kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying that's this kind of situation. I don't think we're going to see this big, boom, explosion of information where everything is laid out and there's some kind of set outcome that everybody's happy about. No way. Or one side wins and one side loses. Generally, that's not how this goes. So we're all just sitting here watching. Again, we're not here to judge. We're not here we're just speculation about what this possibly could be. It's newsworthy because it's Floyd and it's a crazy number. I will say this though, Floyd really good at keeping his name in the news at all times.
Yes,
right? Always. Yeah. Even for negative things like this. But we had a big boxing weekend. We hear about Floyd on Tuesday in a big article coming out. So Floyd is always still got it. Still stays in the news minute. But in terms of how this thing is all going to shake out, it's a matter of time. We're going to be watching this over some time.
Well, another legal issue compounding the problems for Gervonta Tank Davis. A judge in Maryland issued an arrest warrant for him based on a parole violation. If you remember, he was involved in a traffic accident that left people injured. He left the scene on probation for that. As you know, if you're following boxing news, he was arrested recently in Florida over a domestic violence incident. Guess what? That violates your parole. And so Maryland, a judge has issued, obviously, an arrest warrant for him. They're trying to get it delayed, blah, blah, blah. Same deal when we talk about the financial problems of Floyd Mayweather and the issue for which he is suing Showtime. Things tend to snowball. Gervonta Davis getting in trouble once. If you've been in trouble multiple times, you're on parole for something else, these cases pile up and it gets worse and worse and worse. And what it shows, Paulie, from our perspective is, we've said this before on air, where there's smoke, there's fire. The guy's always in trouble and it compounds itself. And the difficulty is, he was at one time, Paulie, a very talented boxer. I know what you've said about him. There's a lot of talented boxers. Very talented boxer.
There's a lot of talented boxers in the world. What I'm saying, what I don't like is that the networks, and they do this on purpose, they'll choose somebody to make into a star. And a lot of times, especially of late, it's been a bad example. It's like they want the masses to see this kind of person as a star instead of the good example as a star. In the past 20 years, we've had Andre Ward and Shakur Stevenson. But boxing has made Adrian Broner and Gervonta Davis into a star. And I don't have anything against Adrian or Gervonta personally, okay? But they weren't exactly example model citizens here for you to make that into the star. But the networks choose that. The networks choose that because the networks are also trying to pollute society with this exemplary figures or lack of an exemplary figure. Davis was a talented fighter, but there's been a lot of talented fighters in boxing that could have been pushed in the way Gervonta was pushed. Because let's face it, if you give a really good fighter the resume Gervonta has, they're also undefeated. It wasn't Gervonta's run of form wasn't that difficult to remain undefeated with the opposition that he faced, especially at the time that he faced them. On top of that, so all of this, it's almost like if you give a certain kind of person too much free stuff, then you're not going to make them into a better person. You're going to make them into a worse person. Sometimes earning it the more difficult way, or earning it the correct way, builds that character, builds that spine.
Or is it the sign of the times because of what people, the certain part of our society want to see? Because we see it in music too. We see the same thing. We see this degeneracy.
You're pushing that, of course.
We see degeneracy.
You push the degeneracy in front of people's eyes constantly, even in reality shows.
But say Gervonta came up 20 years ago. He doesn't get pushed the same way for the reasons you're saying, but it worked in this current society, And listen, I've been to his fights, man. People come out, people are excited, people talk about it. And you say what you will about, he was set up this, set up that. He still knocked guys out. He still put butts in the seats.
You can still do that. You can still do that in different ways and be marketed. But I've said this several times. When I beat Love Morendo for the world title in 2007, I had just come off the Cotto fight. I was very lowly promoted, but I was a very hot shot type of fighter. I had the highest rated Boxing After Dark ratings ever. Now, Boxing After Dark only came out 11 years earlier. I had the highest rated Boxing After Dark ratings ever. And it wasn't because of Love Morendo, I'll tell you that, because nobody knew Love Morendo.
We got 90 people here. Hit the like button, y'all. Smash that like button. Sub to the channel. Support the grind. Tony was good. I don't think Paulie's a hater of Tank, man. He a tough critic. He just is, right? Everything he's saying, he's just got his opinion, man. He know Tank is the goods, but a lot of, if you listen deeply into you listen closely into what he be saying, you will hear a lot of the criticism is based on how he was moved as a fighter. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, ultimately Tank gets the criticism for it, but he got a lot to say about how guys moved him, man. Again, at the end of the day, when you're able to make, substantial, bags every time a guy steps in the ring, yeah, you're gonna have the incentive to continue to do that, to keep the gravy train rolling, man. That's what their job is, to keep him being paid. You know what I'm saying? And boxing can't be dead. We just had a sellout crowd at MSG and the highest attendance there. How is boxing dead? It just had a sellout fight for a guy that they said don't sell. Boxing is far from dead. You probably just don't really like boxing. That's why you think that way. So everybody that has an opinion different than yours is not a hater, man. I don't think it's hate per se. It's just tough criticism, right? It's tough criticism. He not telling you Tank some bump, but he criticizing the path that he traveled. He don't think he traveled the most difficult path. Is that the only time? Is Paulie the only person you ever heard say that? You've heard a lot of people question that, but it's a loaded conversation, right? It's not as simple as just labeling Tank some guy that didn't want to be great when he told us what he wanted, and that's what he got up out of this shit. So, sometimes people can't get past what they see and what they want for a fighter, and they ignore what the fighter wants as an individual for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we say it all the time when people sit up and talk about, well, I didn't ask for that fight. I didn't ask for that fight. Boxing doesn't go according to what you asked for at home. Like, contrary to popular belief, that's not how it go. You know what I mean? So let's keep going though, man. Paulie had a successful career though, so ain't no reason for him to sit around and be like.
And it wasn't because of the co-main event that night, because Darrell and Curtis Stevens stunk out the joint, and so the ratings went down and then shot back up from my main event. What did HBO do? They didn't even give me a date for my defense. Kerry Davis, who ran HBO, refused to give me a date for my title defense. I had to go to Showtime. I had to wait 6 months and go to Showtime. Okay, that's not to say that I deserve to be a star. No, what I'm saying is you can choose based on things. You can plant the water and let the seed grow, or you can just put the square peg into a round hole.
You still gotta show up, and you gotta knock people out. That
no, it's not it. It's not better be up knocks everybody out. It's not it.
Part of it.
He
doesn't speak English, dude.
Okay, but it's always
you can't push those guys here. So you mentioned two other guys, Andre Ward and Shakur Stevenson, two guys who struggled mightily to get noticed, even as good as they were. It took towards the end of Ward's career, getting the Kovalev fights where people were like, yeah, this is the guys undefeated gold medalist. Gervonta Davis and Andrew Broner, even two guys who were punchers. They both were knocked guys out early on. And granted, Broner's power completely fell off once he moved up in weight. Gervonta didn't. Gervonta was still knocking guys out, whether they were
knocking who out? The guy who delivers
doesn't matter.
Pizza?
It doesn't matter. How about all the guys Mike Tyson knocked out
Ray
on the
Leonard
way up?
was made into a star. Did he knock everybody
Leonard
out?
Leonard had absolutely everything.
No,
Leonard had the look. He was a gold medalist, and he knocked you out.
And he was a good example.
He was a great example.
Unlike,
but it was a different time. That was the 80s.
Exactly.
It was the 80s.
And society was more normal.
And in the 90s, we had De La Hoya. Same thing. Golden.
Why didn't you have
my man?
Why was
Sugar Ray Leonard not drinking alcohol and doing cocaine?
Yeah. Okay. So what? Society just filtering up society. That's my point. That's what I'm making. That's what I'm making. That's the point I'm making. You're pushing this instead of that. Then ultimately, what do? You're gonna have this kind of person who's not gonna. They're not gonna wind up being an example for you. They're not gonna wind up doing that. Even stuff that didn't make headlines. I know people in the Diamond District in New York that Javante Davis was taking jewelry on what is it called on consignment and not paying back. They had to send and they sent me the video. These people sent me the video that never went public. The guy, what is it called when you bring the paperwork that you owe money? What is it called when you're getting sued? What is it called? What is that word called? You're getting served. They served him at the Ryan Garcia weigh-in. The guy has to record it. They sent me the video. It didn't make it public. So this guy's been doing stuff both publicly and off the record. Like this video that I have didn't even make a public appearance. At the Ryan Garcia weigh-in, the guy serves him and sends it to my guy in the Diamond District, and then he sent it to me. He said, "Hey, listen, I finally was able to serve him." Like this guy. So imagine what this guy's doing off the record.
System.
Imagine on the record.
We know that.
This is the kind of thing we're pushing. This is what we're pushing.
Stars get different treatment.
So many what stars? You made him into a star. You're making a square peg into a round hole. You could have made Shakur Stevenson a star. Like I said, you could have made Andre Ward into a star. You could have made a Latin fighter into a star. There's a lot of options you had. There are a lot of very good fighters in boxing. You're choosing to do this in boxing because you're choosing to make bad examples for society.
Well, and look, that's the only place where I kind of see things a lot differently. It sounds like it's some frustration there that they decided to make Tank Davis a star, but not only did the people that surrounded him as far as his team, ain't that their job? Their job is to make their guy the biggest star, bigger fighter, right? Make him the most money. Wasn't that their job? Did they do their job? Did Tank do his job? It just sounds like it's a lot of frustration there with who they decided to make a star. And it's not all marketing and promotion. It's only so much of that. The people got to the people got to give a fuck, right? The people got to care. The people care. He can tweet right now, anything. Shakur, I'll knock you out. I ain't tell you anything. It's going to be viral. Videos, live streams, you name it. So I get it, man. You saying this is what you push to society, but I don't think Tank trying to be nobody's fucking role model for real, bro. Right? Got in it to make his money. All the extra shit is the shit that I think got him tired, like ready to check out and leave the sport, right? It's the shit that come with it, the stuff that you don't ask for. Yeah, you ask to make the money, maybe for the fame, the trinkets and trophies that come with it, but then it's the hate, right? Then it's the overanalyzing of everything you do, every shortcoming, every mistake. It gets magnified in times 3, right? So that's the only thing where I see it a lot differently. Paulie be sounding like he frustrated the fact that they found a way to make this dude a star without
and that talking point is just bogus as hell when you look at the history of boxing, bro. Like Sugar Ray Leonard, like he was Olympic gold medalist and all them things that Chris Algieri said, but this is a dude who had a serious problem with alcohol and cocaine at one point. Mm-hmm. Like Aaron Pryor is arguably the greatest 140-pounder of all time. This man was a full-blown crackhead, bro.
Yeah.
And he was prostituting himself to buy crack.
Right.
Jake LaMotta, who's like one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Bro, this dude raped his best friend's girlfriend.
Shout out to Real Music, man.
It was all types of stuff going on throughout the.
I think he need to go and get his help. Go and get his help before he try to fight 7 grams. What it do, homie? Shout out to Tony. Yeah, man. It's the way, it's one thing for people to promote you, push you, market you, but Tank Davis took advantage of every one of them opportunities. You could say it wasn't the toughest road traveled. Anybody could have been undefeated if they'd have traveled the same road. I understand Paulie being a super tough critic when he say that, but that's not entirely true. It took a lot of discipline, hard work, dedication, focus, being locked in, and a lot of shit going right for Tank to be where he at. Is it the toughest road? But at the end of the day, they were successful at their job, building him into a star, right? That was their job. His was to rake in the money, make the fights that he wanted to make, and get paid while doing it. And the fact that he won the way he did, like Real Music is saying, is the reason why he's the star. Because you could push who you want. They try to push J. Leon Love and a whole crop of TMT fighters. And you see how that went. So it's not just the way they marketed and pushed them. Yeah, that helped. The Floyd Mayweather blessing. But that left and right hand that man was blessed with, and that talent is what ultimately made the stamp of approval valid, right? You get what I'm saying? He fulfilled his end of the bargain by continuously winning these fights, putting asses in seats, knocking these guys out. So, you know what I mean? to a degree, they both complemented each other. If you're being honest, their job was to put Tank in position to win. His job was to go out there, train, be prepared, and win. Ain't that what he did? I say it's a win. You know what I mean? And damn, man, bro, man, y'all, I swear, bro, I be thinking, who do y'all listen to? How old y'all be, man? Like, what do y'all listen to all day? You can't. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna play the rest of it. Well, this is at the end. This toward the end. This is no more anyway. This is at the end.
He's continuing to be a bad example. Gervonta Davis in trouble again. The question is does he have a future in the sport? We'll find out. If he does, it'll make news right here on Boxing Scene today. Give Paulie a little break.
Big shout out to Boxing Scene, man. Yeah, Paulie gets extremely heated when the Tank situation come up. But let me say this real quick. You got to do a better job, bro. Either you want to be a silly ass fan just typing duck narratives till you gray in the face like me. You can't duck somebody with it being no paperwork. The fight was never on the table for neither one of them. When they were both on Top Ring together, you seen it was a conversation about the fight. Shakur got on the phone with Robert Garcia and went on to bet him $100K that he'd beat Raymond Muratalla. Of course, he didn't take the bet. He said, I ain't got money like you, but what I did get from the conversation is on both sides, the fight wasn't being brought to neither guy. You see Raymond Muratalla say he'd fight Shakur. He didn't say Shakur is ducking me. And then you say for years, you make it sound worse. Like, I just hate misinformation. We got to do better, bro. Like, there's never been a contract on the table for neither one of them dudes to fight each other, right? Right now, they're not even in the same weight class. Like, how could he be ducking him? He just got out the ring, so did Raymond. Raymond just been a champion. Shakur won his first title, 13 damn fights, bro. Like, it's just different, man. They've been on different trajectories, man. And Raymond Muratalla, although very talented, he's a good fighter, bro, but nobody's ducked him. He hasn't been ducked by anybody. The only person I know could have had a potential opportunity to fight him, right off the top of my head, is Teofimo. And that's not necessarily a duck as much as it is him choosing who he wanted to fight. So nobody's ducking Raymond. He titles. Nobody's ducking him. He getting the fights that he want. Just never. When have you ever heard Bob Arum or anybody say, yo, Raymond Muratalla and Shakur is next? And then Shakur say, oh, I don't want to fight him. So be careful what you wish for, man. You could like Raymond Muratalla. I like him, very talented. But I guarantee you, if he fights Shakur Stevenson, he going to lose. I will bet anybody that he loses. That's all. From the rest of the time that
Top
Shakur
Rank
fight,
was
that's
super
what I'm
confident, bro. If Top Rank and Bob Brown and Brad Goodman, the matchmakers over there, if they were that confident about Raymond Muratalla at the time, they would have got Shakur on the way out. Because I guarantee you, they would have much rather preferred to keep that WBC strap over at Top Rank as opposed to let him just walk off with it. But who did they put Shakur in there with his last fight? Artem Haratuni. If they felt that strongly about Raymond and his ability to beat Shakur, I guarantee you they would have made that match.
Yeah, and then look, the thing with Tank is it's tricky. The only person that elected not to fight him was Lomachenko, and that's not a duck the way people want to sell it, right? Because I like to talk real boxing. That was a choice. He already was talking about retiring before he even fought Kambosos after the Devin loss, right? So it's no surprise that he retired before fighting Tank. Because if you 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that's not a good situation to go into a Tank fight with. So the only person that Gervonta Davis, from everything that I've covered since I've had this channel, the only person that I've seen have an opportunity was Loma. Nobody else. Like, it's not nobody. Think about it. If they'll tell you on one end that he's the biggest bag for everybody, you think guys are so scared to have a physical fist fight when that's what they train to do. They picked boxing that they're going to be scared to go make the money with Tank. You think somebody, because his fans will tell you every time you fight him, you make career-changing money and all that. It's some exaggeration, but I'm going to entertain it for conversation purposes. You're telling me that these guys are scared to make the biggest or most amount of money to do some shit that they love to do because of what? Because they're scared to get knocked out? Think about it, right? You get me? Like, this shit ain't scary, right? Like, ain't nothing scary about a fist fight, especially when you're getting paid to do it. So I get what you're saying, but in reality, the only person that's turned him down is Lomachenko. And he chose not to get in there. No other contract has went out. No negotiations was taking place with no other fighter that's ever turned him down, ever. You know what I'm saying? Look, listen to his team. They said it for years. You don't pick Tank, they pick you, right? You don't send him shit. They gonna send it to you. You just be ready. You've heard it for years, man. Them saying they the best team in boxing. They want to get him a fight, they can get him a fight. You know what I mean? I just think the more the risk, the more yellow and red tape you got to get through. And with guys not negotiating, it's hard to make those big fights with Tank name attached to them if teams are not on the same page and not, on a negotiations basis. Like, shit ain't gonna happen. Shout out to Tom. What's good, homie? Appreciate you pulling up. Hit the like button, everybody. Yeah, man, he gonna be tough to beat. Real music for sure, because he's really smart and he just don't make a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Bro, man, he just asked the same question over after I just explained it, bro. Raymond Muratalla just now got his name in the mix for real with that title. I think the fight is more appealing to guys like Shakur or anybody else at 135. So just sit tight. You might see him in a meaningful fight, but I can tell by your commentary you kind of out the loop. I don't know how closely you follow boxing, but do you notice that Raymond Muratalla is an IBF champion? You know that's the route he was going. You know Shakur is a WBC champion right now. I don't know where they got Raymond ranked at. Well, he was, right? The thing is, if it was all about making a fight with Shakur, then you chase down the WBC title, not the IBF title, right? Like, you got to think. So the opportunity for him to fight, it just wasn't there for nobody to fight. Nobody's ducking anybody. It just, the fight ain't going to happen out of thin air. Who's going to put the fight on? Who's Raymond Muratalla with? Drop rank? Okay. You heard Bob Arum talking about making a fight with Raymond Muratalla and Shakur Stevenson. Have you ever heard him say it? That's how you got to think. At the top where Shakur is operating at, that's a business. It's more of a business than it is a sport, man. You got to be smart. Not about ducking, man. It's about what make the most sense. Like Raymond Muratalla, the fighter, might want to fight Shakur next, right? But his team might have something else planned. Maybe they might want to get him a title defense, a homecoming fight, anything, right? He might be willing, but then they might go do something else. And my dad going to look at Muratalla and say, oh, well, you said you wanted to fight Shakur. You a duck. Nah, it's all about business and what makes sense, the availability and different things like that. Right now, you can't duck somebody. You're not in the same weight class. You know what I mean? I think WBC stripping Shakur was premature. It was nasty work. They killed the potential unification between the two at 135, which I would have loved. But Muratalla said in the interview I played earlier that he's willing to come up. So it's whatever presents itself, man. But not one time did he say anything about, oh, he's ducking me and this and that. I be trying to have patience, bro. I be trying to have patience, man. But I think you might be something might be wrong with you, dude. So now I got to ignore you because you just not listening. You just want to keep saying the same dumb shit. Raymond Muratalla just said in this interview he want to fight Shakur. He's not Tio. What happened there? How is he going to fight him? Who going to send the contract? Because Raymond Muratalla is calling Shakur out, not the other way around. So Raymond Muratalla is supposed to send the contract, right? Smart guy. Shakur is at 140 for right now. Muratalla is at 35. He went the IBF route. He didn't pursue the WBC route. You slow, man. Like, I be trying to. Yeah, man. That's it. Bye.
Which is why I mentioned
you really
had
try to
the
have
opportunity.
See how like reasonable I was with this fucking idiot.
Man, these guys are a little.
Because I know more boxing than he do. He don't follow the sport.
A little stubborn.
Like a fan, a dummy. Oh, bullshit. He said he'll fight him. Raymond Muratalla is calling Shakur Stevenson out, not the other way around. And I guarantee you if that fight happened, you won't bet no money on it, and you won't bet your money on Raymond Muratalla. I guarantee you can't name 3 fights from Raymond Muratalla without going to BoxRec. I'm willing to bet money. I'll cash at your ass. Man, y'all be in here just I'm being reasonable. It's give and take. I'm answering the questions. You see, this is why I ignore people. This is why. I'm gonna start doing like the other channels. Super chat, you want my attention. Swear. I'm from now on, you trolling, I'm just ignoring you. Not even responding to the ignorance, man. Y'all gotta learn some boxing, bro. Stop listening to these dumbass grown goofy men that's telling y'all these people are ducking. You can't duck guys when you're not in the same weight class. You can't duck people without paperwork being in place. And the fights don't just go like that. Just because somebody said they'll fight somebody don't mean, oh yeah, just that's happening next. It don't go like that, man. Gotta wake up, man. Stop coming over here with that dumb, goofy shit. Y'all gonna learn one day, man. Y'all gonna learn the hard way. This is not the channel for that. Let's build on boxing, not force your weird ass opinion because you got Raymond Muratalla balls in your mouth. You get what I'm saying? But I guarantee you can't name 3 fights that he had without box rec. I'm willing to bet everything. Bet you. You won't know. He will not know. He'll be sitting there stuck on stupid. Shut up, man. Damn, man. Y'all know nothing about boxing. Shout out to Mike Kirkland. Peace, bro. How you feeling? Y'all don't be knowing shit about boxing. And the thing is, we got too many people trying to be teachers. Y'all skipping steps. Can't be no fucking teacher or something without being a student first, man. Y'all better learn the game, man. Y'all think y'all know it all. Y'all don't know nothing. You listen to some corny person that'll, fill your head up by telling you all, by confirming all the wild narratives you got going on in your head, and then you come over here trying to push duck narratives. That's what's wrong with the entire sport, bro. Dude just got up on his fucking channel. His platform is constantly growing and said Keyshawn Davis ducked Devin Haney. How, Sway? How the fuck can you duck somebody not in the same weight class? No paperwork. They didn't even get a chance to try to situate a fight. He ducked him already, but before Keyshawn even had a fight at 140, his name was on the hit list, Devin Haney's hit list. You cannot make this shit up. People are slow, man. I'm telling you. Did Keyshawn Davis just duck Devin Haney? And then people will push it. They'll really say, yo, Keyshawn ducking Devin Haney. He clout chasing. Whole time Keyshawn's name been on the list way before he even stepped foot at 140. People got to make it make sense, man. Learn boxing. Learn boxing. At the absolute top, it's business. Business before anything. So that means they're gonna go with whatever makes the most money before they give you what you want to see as a fan. That might be hard or a tough pill for you to swallow, but you got to accept it because that is the reality. And I said, and why I don't trip out when people don't give me fights that we quote unquote want, because the business don't go that way, bro. These people are in this shit to make money. Money. And if you are in the business of making money, you will probably be making the same moves these dudes doing. Their job is not, and newsflash, these guys' teams, the managers, the promoters, their job is not to put their client, so to speak, in there with the toughest competition, despite what you might think. That's not what their job is. That's not. Now, again, boxing is a competitive sport. So along the way, with you being moved and built and groomed, you're going to take some challenges because shit going to make sense financially and you're going to be allowed to chase greatness. But people got to really educate themselves. I don't know everything about boxing. I'll never act like I do, but I'm no fucking idiot. I don't run around here talking about people ducking people, not even in the same weight class. Nobody's getting on the phone talking to nobody. It didn't even we just skipping steps and rushing it. Yeah, Keyshawn Davis is ducking Devin Haney. It's like, bro, can he even get to 47? He just got out the ring at 140, didn't lose a single round, but he ducking somebody. Make it make sense, bro. Y'all bad for boxing. I'm gonna keep fighting this good fight. I need y'all to keep being like this though, because I need something to fight for. And the integrity and putting out the right kind of content, bro. I ain't in a race with nobody, but this misinformation, one platform that ain't gonna ever be known for that constant misinformation, rhetoric, slander, the same old false narrative pushing shit is this one. Just Do Boxing ain't for none of that weird ass narrative pushing shit. Well, why is he ducking this one? He said he'll fight the winner of this, and you think that's how it go? Damn, man. Dumbass, bro. Dumbass. Guarantee you Raymond Muratalla and them don't know what their next fight gonna be. Shakur don't know what his next fight gonna be yet. He just got out the damn ring. People are idiots, man. So quick. That's why I'm telling you, and I'm gonna stand on this, y'all. As long as we continue to be easily manipulated and we can convince ourselves that guys are scared and ducking, they're gonna keep manipulating the pieces on the chessboard because they think boxing fans are too lazy and or dumb to do their own homework, so they can't push the bullshit that they push. Wake up, man. Wake up. Stop being fooled by your favorite lie tent creator, because that shit ain't content. That these lie tent creators, because that's what the hell they doing these damn live streams, sitting up lying to y'all, making y'all think somebody's scared of your favorite fighter. Weird as hell, bro. Y'all weird, man. I really love boxing. I like seeing these dudes go out there and be great. And one thing I've seen consistently throughout, and I don't need nobody to tell me this, my own personal observation, when the situation is right and people in that check right, people gonna fight. Fighters gonna fight. Sick, injured, not good, personal shit going on. Man, you dudes getting in the ring, going through divorces. You get what I'm saying? Deaths in the family, you name it. The check got the right amount of zeros or the right amount of figures attached to it. Dudes is getting in the ring. Ladies is getting in the ring. Don't give me that duck shit. And I'm telling you, I'm starting to really feel this way. Everybody in boxing that continues to push duck narratives irresponsibly, you fucking got chased home as a kid. I'm starting a rumor. Everybody that's pushing duck narratives got chased home as a kid. That's why you think all of these grown men are scared to make money in the sport that they decided to take up. You can't make this shit up, bro. Yeah, I'm a box for a living, but then I'm gonna be scared to actually do it. Yeah, and when they say they got the bag for me, I'm gonna be scared to do it because I might could get knocked out. You could get knocked out, leaving your house, walking down the street somewhere, and could get knocked the hell out, right? So you telling me I can train to fight and I'm gonna be scared to do it? Man, I'm telling you, man, only dudes pushing that is these soft ass men that got chased home from school. I'm telling you, and don't know what it's like to get into a damn fist fight. Scary ass dudes talking about why somebody duck. Why is this person ducking? Why is he ducking? Dude said it a minute ago. Floyd ducked Paul Williams. Yo, Paul Williams said it out his mouth. Floyd ain't never ducked. And instead of a person accepting it, they'll be willing to argue on that lie. Silliness, man. Educate yourselves, man. I'm telling you. The smarter we are as a boxing community, the less bullshit the suits can pull on us. I'm telling you, you might not believe what I'm saying now, but they bank on ignorance, misinformation, division, us arguing with each other and not being in the know. That allows them to manipulate the pieces on the board. And we sitting up arguing about fights that these guys are not even spending an ounce of time trying to make behind the scenes. And you trying to argue with me about some shit. You want to argue with me about who ducking, and the powers that be is they got both of those fighters you talking about fighting each other. They got them going in totally different directions, but we in here arguing about it. The more we on the same page and we following what's going on, they can't manipulate the people like that. They can't just, you don't got the Bob Arams of the world saying the fans is like rocks. You just kick them where you want them to go. People saying that's a disrespect to everybody that's a boxing fan, and I don't even think it's meant to be that way. It's just so true. Like, people will argue a lie in boxing. This is the only fucking sport where you can tell somebody what the numbers is and they'll still come in here and write a paragraph trying to argue it. Any other sport, basketball, football, you tell people you're arguing the GOAT conversation about who this. A lot of times, man, you start talking about the hardware and shit, conversations slow up a little bit. In boxing, name somebody accolades. Only in boxing, they gonna shit on it. Oh, that don't mean you're good. The same, one of the only measurements, right? Fighting the quality fights, accomplishing things, moving through the weight classes, all the shit that would dictate that you a world-class guy. These people ignored to push a narrative. Get what I'm saying? They'll still argue against that. Nah, he's only 30-0 because he fought all cab drivers. Yeah, he only got 20 plus knockouts because he fight all tomato cans. It's like we will argue the facts. This is the only sport where the facts are fucking argued. I promise you. And that's the weakest shit about boxing as a whole. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody want to be a teacher. We don't got no fucking students. Everybody know everything, but they don't. You get what I'm saying? And nobody approaches this shit with an open mind to learn some shit and educate. They just think they know everything. Shit is weird, man. Chess, not checkers. That's a fact. Shout out to my brother Mike Kirkland. Always supporting that grind, man. For having to deal with slow thinking people talking boxing, I swear. And I was trying to be reasonable with him. I'm trying to show him how give and take go when you come to a channel. Give you a little, respect. Give you some energy, and then you be disrespectful. Shit is crazy. Like, y'all some weirdos to me. Weird ass people. Still 60 people in the building, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Sub to the channel. Turn them notifications on. It's always a dope build over here. Here's another video I got, but we're going to get into that tomorrow. I'm going to try to pop on for the Saturday stream. think we got Nick Ball and Figueroa, so we're gonna figure this out. Chris Algieri did a podcast. He did a show with somebody, and he was talking about the Shakur fight, and who, somebody told him to name 8 guys that could beat him, and it was a good conversation. Chris Algieri went on to name the one fighter that he think has a chance to beat Shakur. He didn't say he will beat him. He said has a chance. So I thought that was a good conversation. We're gonna get into that tomorrow and some other stuff as we always do, man. He said getting knocked out for free is crazy. I'm telling you, Jordan, what I'm saying? You could really you could get into something just being somewhere, right? And get into it, get punched in your shit, But it's just crazy that we because we're hell bent on trying to make guys look like less than, right? We'll go out of our way. We'll go out of our way to try to make a point that, don't stick. Boxing ain't about ducking. Yeah, guys, they take strategic risks, calculated risks, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if the money is right, people will fight. In very few instances where somebody money is right, they're not getting in that ring. I'm telling you. Now, I ain't saying it's nobody that's never avoided a fight or never ducked, as you like to call it. But more times than not, it's premature. Like you've seen it already. They're saying Keyshawn is ducking Devin Haney. Devin Haney fights at welterweight, 147 pounds. Keyshawn just got to 140. How in the hell could he duck him not in the same weight class? Shakur and Raymond Muratalla just competed in 2 different weight classes right now. Shakur just got stripped. How the fuck could either guy be ducking either guy not in the same weight class? We got to stop. Get me? People was asking, saying Keyshawn Davis was ducking Andy Cruz. Muratalla fought him first. He was supposed to fight him. Like, y'all really don't understand boxing? Y'all really think just because he beat him in the amateurs, he was supposed to turn pro and they just supposed to fight? People don't get it. You think Eddie Hearn is really trying to set his sights to putting Andy Cruz in the ring with Keyshawn Davis, who just knocked out his toughest opponent to date in his 140-pound debut, where Andy Cruz, undersized at 135, just lost his first title shot opportunity, and they talking about taking him down to 130. You really think Eddie Hearn next move is like, yeah, well, you beat him 4 times in the amateurs, so I know you're gonna beat him now? People are idiots, man. I'm telling you, and as long as you continue to be an idiot, they can manipulate you, bro, and control how you think, manipulate how you think. Can't duck somebody with nobody behind the scenes talking about the fight. I seen Keyshawn Davis press Eddie Hearn about the fight for Andy Cruz. He told him he'd put it at the venue that he wanted. He gonna make the fight this year. He was telling Keyshawn yeah to everything. How come nobody seen that? Nobody seen that interview. Damn, I gotta go find it, man. He has no intent on putting them 2 in the ring right now or trying to make that fight. How much do you want to bet? That'd be a stupid move. He just got beat because he inexperienced. And he's not conditioned to be a 12-round fighter just yet. He's still shaking out the amateur kings. You really think Eddie want to say, you know what? They're losing to Raymond Muratalla. Let's go fight Keyshawn at 140. Or better yet, let's make a fight with Keyshawn. You really think that's how they think? Dummies, man. Andy Cruz going his ass back to the drawing board. The next time you see him in the ring, it's going to be a winnable fight. And he's more than likely going to get the win. And he'll move on from there. But all this duck talk is I'm starting to think duck talk is code for I don't know shit about boxing. I'm telling you, I'm going to just start saying that. Duck talk, yeah, you don't know shit. You don't know what's going on, bet. And let me be clear before we get up out of here. I'm not saying that it's nobody that could avoid a fight or don't want fights. But more times than not, it's a reason for it. And it be money more times than not. Shakur and Frank Martin didn't fight because of what, ultimately? It ain't have shit to do with Frank Martin being scared. Damn sure wasn't that. He couldn't get the money he was looking for. So ultimately, like, bro, I'm not getting in the ring for less than what I feel like I'm worth. Can't knock guys for that. Shit ain't about ducking. It's about business and being taken care of. You heard lying ass Steven Espinoza. He said, man, this fights got to be made. And for fights to be made, they got to make sense on both sides. Both parties got to feel like they being taken care of and get what they're looking for, or you won't see fights. Fights will fall apart. Negotiations fall apart all the time because guys are not able to get what they be looking for. Has nothing to do with ducking. Now, you could try to argue about somebody pricing themselves out to get out of a fight. And we see instances where guys do that. But more times than not, you pay a guy what they weigh or what they asking for, and they're going to get in there and fight, win, lose, or draw. And that's just what it is, man. But shout out to everybody, man. It's about 3.5 hours in. I appreciate everybody rocking out, pulling up. on this Good Friday to build with your boy and talk this boxing how we always do. If you hit the like button, if you pop through, if you share the live, like the live, hype the live, we appreciate you. If you hit the super chat or cash app, we appreciate you more. Much love to everybody, man. It's been another dope week of boxing. It's a lot of good fights to come from the Saturday's event and more to come. You got Nick Ball and Figueroa up. You got Fundora and Keith Thurman coming up. You got Ryan and Barrios coming up. I think boxing started off on a strong. I think it's off to a strong start for this first quarter of this year, man. And I'm enjoying it. So we're going to sit back and we're going to keep giving boxing its just due, man. So look, with that, that's my time. Enjoy the rest of this Good Friday. Go get y'all some good food. Kick y'all feet up, relax. Make sure you turn your notifications on. Sub to the channel. Share the live, hype the live. And make sure y'all tap in tomorrow. We're going to be live and we're going to build on this boxing like we always do. So-called bully, the worst travels. YouTube, sit there and breathe heavy and hate. I'm telling you. Hey, Mike, sit there and breathe and slob and spitting on the screen and shit, man. Crazy, bro. Appreciate all your support on my Urban Mac, my dog. Appreciate you, man. Jordan, the rest of the gang, man. Tony, I see a couple of new people in here, man. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the channel members, man. And y'all make sure y'all tap in tomorrow. We'll be back to build on this boxing, y'all. So with that, we're going to get up out of here, y'all. Peace to the...
Representing Brick City, Shakur!
Finding those levels, too. Look at that four-punch combination. It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. And Shakur meeting them with straight left hand.
Oh, and there's a knockdown score with the left hand.
Right now, we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother, Just Due.